Right, we have a packed live football schedule for you, as always, across the Talksport network this weekend. Over 500 games we're bringing you this season. As I mentioned, Millwall-Leicester in the Championship is a 3 p.m. kickoff live here on Talksport 2. Brentford against Liverpool is an 8 p.m. kickoff over on Talksport, and we have Carabao Cup fourth round action for you on Tuesday and Wednesday across the network as well. But the CBS Arena is our first destination this lunchtime. You can hear the atmosphere ramping up as Coventry hosts Watford. So sit back and enjoy live and exclusive Championship football on the home of the EFL, Talksport 2, in the company of former Scotland striker Chris Owellamo and your match commentator Adam Bridge.
Thank you, Faye. Good afternoon, everyone. They've scored more goals than every team in the top 5 European leagues, including the likes of Bayern Munich and Barcelona. And they're looking for a 6th straight league win in the same season for the first time in their history. It really is dreamland for Coventry supporters everywhere. But we're only 11 games in to what we know is a long Championship season. 12 sides previously have been unbeaten in the second tier after 11 games. Only 5 of those ending up winning promotion. Watford's revolving managerial door took another spin and produced Javi Gracia for a second spell. By my reckoning, that 19th manager maybe in 12 years. I may be a little out with those numbers, it's been so frequent. The fact he's back for a second spell of Hornets madness says a lot about his first time here when he took them to an FA Cup final. They're looking for back-to-back wins today for the first time this season, though they haven't won away at Coventry in 15 years. But all eyes today are on the Sky Blues, a point clear at the top of the table, 31 goals to their name so far. Can they continue to be that only undefeated side in the top 4 divisions? This will play out in the next couple of hours, live here on Talksport 2, your home of the EFL. All the drama of the Championship right here. Let's start with the Coventry City side. 3 changes today and a change in shape. They played 3 at the back for the first time this season against Portsmouth in midweek. Rushworth's in goal. Back 4 today of Van Ivik, Thomas, Kitching and De Silva. Grimes and Allen in central midfield. Sakamoto, Thomas Asante and Mason Clark supporting Haji Wright. 2 top scorers in this Championship. Thomas Asante and Haji Wright both in 8 goals this season, turning into a real potent strike force for Coventry City. As for Watford, 5 changes from that win over West Bromwich Albion. Selvic's in goal and Gakia, Abankwa, Kevin and Bola across the back. We expect to see Suzuka, Luza, Bar and Vata in midfield with Dumbia and Kayembe up top, but it could be quite fluid from Javi Gracia. He does like to play around with his starting 11, we know that much. Dean Whitestone is the man in charge. He was last in charge of a Coventry game in that 3-0 victory against Sunderland back here in March. We were crowing about the blue skies and the sunshine. I even sent Faker others a picture on Instagram. It's now grey, overcast, I'm nice and warm, and alongside me is Chris Owellamo, who is, of course, former Watford striker, although we don't talk about the time at Watford too much, do we?
I did the right.
Anyway, this promises to be a belter today.
Yeah, it's going to be, I think, a very entertaining game. You know, I think the way that Watford set up against West Brom at home, straight away, look at that 2-goal chase. The rest of the pack just sit in. This is what they did the other night. I think that's a recipe for disaster, in my opinion, you know, because you can't allow the likes of Grimes, you can't allow the likes of Allen to get on the ball in those areas.
And immediately Haji Wright down that right-hand side fires in a fairly wayward shot out wide from a very tight angle, but maybe a symbol of the confidence that's running through this Coventry side, the way things stand right now. So impressive throughout this campaign. Frank Lampard as well. I mean, we knew he was good at Derby and the work he did at Derby, but what he's achieved here since his arrival, absolutely extraordinary. And can they keep that run going today? You'll find out across the next 90 minutes here on Talksport 2. Watford now trying to get forward down this right-hand side, but no surprise that Liam Kitching is in there to get a left-footed clearance away. Thomas Asante playing in that number 10 role today, finds Sakamoto, but his ball over the top was towards Mason Clark, but too much on it, and Mason Clark catch was in an offside position anyway.
I'm just waiting to see this. So as soon as Selvic's got the ball, the Watford goalkeeper Sissoko goes right up beside Dumbia, goes on centre-backs. You've got Vata on the left back, Van Ivik, and then you've got it's Ba on the right, and they just go 4v4. So this is where the likes of Grimes and Allen, they have to come in and protect to make sure they pick up second balls.
Grimes gives it short. Van Ivik on that far side to Sakamoto. Ball put out of play for a throw to Coventry just over halfway on that far side. They've won their last 5 Championship games. Considered that first goal in those 5 games, of course. That was 90 plus minutes on Tuesday night that went in, and The victories have been flowing. The last goal conceded prior to that was here against Norwich early on in that game when they turned that one round with a stoppage time equaliser as well. Sakamoto on that far side, brilliant. Got away from the defender on that far touchline. Cuts in on his left foot. Van Ijvik's there to support, gets the early cross in towards the edge of the 6-yard box, and it has to be dealt with by Kevin and away. It's a dangerous ball in, and now a chance maybe for a counter down that left-hand side. Fatah's on the charge here. Fatah towards the edge of the penalty area. Fatah with a chance, tries to lift it over Rushworth, and Rushworth does brilliantly inside his penalty area and makes the save.
He does very, very well. I've got to say, excellent play from Rushworth. Big diagonal ball, great little ball for Sakamoto to get at, but the quality in the break from Watford was outstanding. Fatah 1v1 has to just pick his pot.
Not sure why he tried to lift it, really. Sure he could have done better, but you'll have a better steer on that than I will. Here's Sakamoto, far edge of the penalty area. Brandon Thomas Asante is there again for Coventry City, and the leaders are in front. 3 minutes into the game, Thomas Asante with a deft header, and that boy cannot stop scoring. His 9th of the season, his 3rd in a week. Thomas Asante's on fire, Coventry are on fire, and it's Coventry City 1, Watford 0.
Well, it's just fantastic quality in the right hand side. Every time he gets his Sakamoto, can he get it in, gets his head up, composure, and then the run. You know, when you're in a run of form, the confidence there, you pick up those little spots in between centre backs. Has to be defended better, but little great header. Knew exactly where the goal was. Little deft flick as well into the bottom left hand corner. Fantastic ball in though.
Well, Sissoko not happy with referee Dean Whitestone, and there was an injury to a Watford player before the goal was scored. He was down in the centre circle, but because no foul was involved, the referee obviously allowed play to continue, and Coventry City profit, and they have that first goal, their 32nd goal of the campaign. They've won 6 of their last 8 home games, just drawing 2 of those. Haven't been defeated here since April against Burnley, and they got the perfect start today.
Yeah, so it's an excellent start, especially after, like you say, Rushworth made that excellent save as well. You know, just going from back to front with the quality, with the pace, but as soon as he got the ball, Sakamoto, he's got so much time, brought it back onto his left, and the quality of the cross in, even if Thomas Asante doesn't actually get a touch on it, it's actually going to ask a question of Selvig anyway. Great little glancing header. That's 9 games now. Watford have conceded the first goal, nowhere near good enough.
Quadro Bar was the player that was down injured. He's had some treatment now, and he's just coming off on this near side to be properly assessed. Obviously he'll have to stay off for the 30 seconds that's required nowadays, but what a start for Coventry City. Frank Lampard said it's a different challenge now. Suddenly you become the hunted, top of the table, different attitude, people are changing the way they play, people are coming for you, and he says he loves the thrill and the challenge of that.
Yeah, and I think the players are showing that they are enjoying that as well. It is a different expectation. You know, everyone's waiting on you to lose that unbeaten title as well, but it's like you say, the players are confident. You see the way they're using it, you know, intensity in the passing as well. Look at this, driving forward, Grimes.
He is down this left-hand side. Matty Grimes gives it short to Jada Silva on this near touchline, back towards halfway. Keating will find Thomas, and then out wide on that right-hand side, Van Ijvik's making the charge forward. He's got Sakamoto ahead of him, the provider of that cross for Brandon Thomas Asante's 9th goal of this championship season in his battle with his teammate Haji Wright for leading goal scorer. It's Thomas Asante that hits the front this time. Mason Clark on this near side, just loses possession. There's De Silva, on to Mason Clark again, left-hand touchline, on the charge. He's just trying to work his way forward, but the cross comes in Ngakia with a challenge, and the ball's out of play for a throw to Coventry City.
Different player, Mason Clark, isn't he? As soon as he gets the ball there, gets up, faces up in Ngakia. Ngakia, a good little challenge, but gets the ball again, so direct. Last season, he's passing it back. That confidence wasn't there.
Well, this is one of the things. The one thing you can say about Coventry City and the way they've played this season, they're definitely not one-dimensional, but what Frank has embraced is the long throw. Van Ijvik's going to launch it in. I think about 43 they've delivered so far this season, which was something they didn't do last campaign.
Well, why wouldn't you use it? If you've got it, why wouldn't you use it when you've got the players that can go and make the first contact?
Using it here, straight in, evades everyone, comes out to Allen! Jamie Allen for Coventry City! It's 2-0. We've only been playing for 7 minutes, and it's the long throw that does the damage again. And what a hit from Jamie Allen from the edge of the penalty area. He hasn't scored a goal since May 2024, but everyone's scoring in this Coventry City side. And this time it is Jamie Allen, only his second start of the season, and he's on the score sheet. And Watford are in real trouble here. Coventry City 2, Watford 0.
Yeah, they are relentless. Long throw goes in. There's no first contact, so someone has to take responsibility. Go make sure you put your head on it there. It comes down. The ball falls in the path of Allen. You know what? Made his mind up, struck it well. The goal doesn't move. Bottom left-hand corner. Celtic has no chance whatsoever. It's an excellent strike, but it can be defended better. You know, if you're looking, having Grazia looking at that, anticipate it. If it's not going to win the first contact, can you go there? Make sure you're going to be there for the second phase.
Yeah, what a hit from Jamie Allen.
Outstanding.
Well, we talked about the damage the long throw can do and how they've embraced it. And there it is, delivering. Absolutely drilled into the bottom corner from just the edge of the penalty area. How can Watford respond? Here's Barr towards the byline, still going. Brought down at the edge of the box. Right-hand side, level with the 6-yard area. And Barr just turns round to those travelling Watford supporters and just asks for a little bit back from them. Not surprised they're not giving much. They're 2 down in 7 minutes.
Well, you look at this Coventry side, yeah, it's a reaction. By getting at his man there. You know what I mean? And of course, he's got to give the fans something to shout about. But this Coventry side can do the hard yards as well. You know, they defend, they don't concede many opportunities as well. It's about like being brave, taking responsibility. That's a good opportunity now for Loser to ask that question of the defensive unit of Coventry now.
17 first half goals they've scored this season, the most in the Championship. They're up to 33 for the campaign so far. They've got some defending to do here though. Imran Loser on his left foot has got a really nice angle. It's got to be level with the edge of the 6-yard area, and it's about a yard outside the penalty area on that right hand side. There's a 2-man Coventry wall.
And Ngakia here as well, so it can't just be a short one just to change the angle of the ball coming in. But I'd be surprised if Loser does that. Just put it right on top of Rushworth. Let's see how brave he is with bodies in front of him running across.
Well, that's got to be the plan. Loser drills low into the near side, and it's bubbling around the edge of the 6-yard area, and it's cleared, and now the chase is on out. Thomas Asante is after it against Ngakia, and he decides the only option is to just pump it a couple of rows away from us here in the stand on this near side.
Well, that's a great ball in from Loser there. I've got to say, I think it's a banker. It comes off a yard from the goal line with no one, with Rushworth towards the near post there. So it's just about reacting to it. Just steer it goalwards with your thigh, your quads, you know what I mean? Anything. Just get that contact.
Sun's out again here at the CBS Arena, and the sun's certainly shining on Coventry City as things stand. Almost 10 minutes played. Coventry City 2, Watford 0. EFL Game Day live on Talksport 2. We'll be with Millwall and Leicester from 3 o'clock this afternoon. That's the second of our live and exclusive commentaries on your home of the EFL. More live Premier League football for you tonight over on Talksport. Oh, long ball through here that Selvik will come and gather at the edge of his penalty area as Thomas Asante was closing in. The ball from Kitching, another example of how the leaders in the Championship happy to mix it up.
Yeah, you look at as soon as you've got Kitchen or Bobby Thomas on the ball, you've got Mason Clark on this, obviously left-hand side. Obviously Sakamoto on the right, so expansive. You know, always looking for that ball in behind. And you know what? You know when the fullbacks tuck in from Watford, you've also got that Thomas Asante running in behind as well.
You know, Grimes' ball is just lost by Thomas Asante, bit of miscontrol for a change. Here's Barr out wide on this right-hand side for Watford. Looking to cut infield, he's got Sissoko ahead of him. Comes back to Imran Loser. Here's Ngakia, back towards halfway, the former West Ham man. Scored a couple of goals, of course, and Ngakia in 4 minutes against Oxford. He'd only scored 1 in 104 appearances prior to that, before he hit the target twice in a couple of minutes that day for Watford. Another one of their comeback performances at home. They're keeping possession well here though on that far side, and then the offside flag goes up.
Yeah,
it looked quite comfortable for him. A silly mistake.
Yeah, I think very, very comfortable without the ball. Watford moving it fast as well, but basically Hadji Wright's left on his own. Thomas Asante drops in, they face up, and they're quite comfortable. Watford having the ball all in front of them there, shuffling across. Distances between the pairings have been good, and the distance between the lines very, very good.
Throwing on that far side goes the way of Coventry City, level with the edge of the Watford penalty area, and no surprise, Milan Van Ivik, who we thought may have left the club this summer. They brought in Kane Kessler-Hayden, of course, from Villa, and the thought was he would be replacing Van Ivik, but he stayed, and he's integral to this Coventry City side. Van Ivik, 47 league appearances last season, started every game this time round, and here he is with that long throw of his. Kitchen goes up to try and get there, almost comes to Jamie Allen again. This time he pokes it out wide to this near touchline, controlled by Mason Clark, and they win another throw.
I'll have to say, I think Quadwoba done better there. He was aware of the second phase. Allen was still onto it. I think he's just got to clear his line there, But then again, Mason Clark up against two there, does everything right in my opinion. Can't go anywhere with the ball. Just make sure you keep possession of it. Win the throw in, win a corner kick.
Van Ivik with a throw down this left-hand side. This time level with the penalty spot. Plenty of pushing and shoving in around that 6-yard area. Kitchen in a real battle to try and win and get his head on the ball. Doesn't get there first, and it was almost to Mason Clark, and Haji Wright tried to get involved too. Breaks to Bobby Thomas at the edge of the box. Keeps it alive as far as Matt Grimes, but Grimes will be very careful here, and he watches the ball back safely to Rushworth midway inside the Coventry City half, and then the young on loan keeper will launch it forward on that far side, and there is a flick on this time from Bobby Thomas, but it means it'll be a Watford throw level with the edge of the penalty area on that far side. The other 12:30 kickoffs today around the EFL. There's a goal in the early game in League 2. Fleetwood 0, Accrington Stanley 1 as things stand. 13 minutes played here. Coventry City 2, Watford 0. Dream start for the league leaders as they look to extend their advantage over Middlesbrough at the top of the table to 4 points. Of course, Borough are also in action against Wrexham at 3 o'clock this afternoon, and they've got a terrific home record, so they'll look to keep the pressure on for sure. Coventry have it at the edge of their own penalty area. Kitchen forward towards halfway. Jamie Allen's there replacing Victor Torp. Big loss today for Coventry City, out injured. He's made a real contribution to that Coventry City side throughout this campaign.
I'm just looking at Imran Louza, found a little bit of space to go on the ball there. Thomas Asante straight onto him, put that pressure on, managed to get away from that. Sakamoto seen the danger again, working very hard to try and nullify the threat of Imran Louza, and I understand that, because don't want him dictating the tempo. He'll drop deep, he'll want to get on the ball as he is now, but that's where they've got to make sure, take responsibility, stop him from getting on the ball. Look at Asante there, Thomas Asante, just keep him with him, basically man marking him when out of possession.
Abankwah forward down that left-hand side, gives it out wide on that far touchline where it's picked up by Bola. So look to try and work it once more, Watford, having a bit of possession. Abankwah again tries to come forward, it's picked up in the middle this time by Vata. Very much when they have possession going into this 4-2-4, aren't they, Watford?
Yeah. Looking
to press high, Sissoko, as you said, going in alongside Doumbia at the top end of the field. And here's Louza deep inside his own half with possession, finding Ngakia, tries to curl the ball over the top. Barr's going to try and chase onto it. De Silva's read it, he's back and gives it to Rushworth, and it's well defended by Coventry City.
I've got to say, it's just great body shape there. As soon as you look at Cabani, as soon as he opens up, Ngakia it was, and he puts that ball in behind, it was always a running race. But Silva, when there's no pressure on the ball, he's ready to go.
Mason Clark's foul deep inside his own half, and it'll be a free kick for Coventry City. I think Lampard is off, dishing out his instructions, I think, to Jamie Allen in midfield. Very different player to Victor Torp, but boys, he made a contribution already today with his first goal since May 2024.
Well, what does that say though? You know, it just shows you how competitive the squad is. You've already said about Van Eegel was going to go, but when you bring in quality and you have players there and the competitiveness is there, everyone has to raise the levels to make sure that they're starting for their manager.
I did start to tell you about Premier League football tonight. Brentford against Liverpool, 8 o'clock. That's over on Talksport. That's our exclusively live commentary from the Premier League. Don't miss that tonight from 8 o'clock. And then we've got Carabao Cup action for you in midweek, both Tuesday and Wednesday. In fact, we've got 5 live games for you across the 2 nights. Talksport, Talksport 2, and on the Talksport app as well, as we bring you the last 16 action from the Carabao Cup across the Talksport network. 16 minutes gone here. Coventry leading Watford by 2-0. Oh, and they've won the ball back here. Coventry edge of the penalty area. Thomas Asante gets it through. Mason Clark across to Haji Wright. Offside flag is up. He'll be denied the 3rd goal of the game. Hands on heads all round from Thomas Asante and Haji Wright. But the ball through from Mason Clark, maybe a little too late. Wright poked it in from close range, but the assistant on the far side with his flag up.
Well, I thought it was a very, very tight call, Mason Clark being offside there. But it was the ball, it was like a tackle as well from Asante, but he just got the final contact to steer it forwards. Great composure from Mason Clark just to put it across to Hadji right there. Very, very tight one. We'll give the official, the linesman, the benefit of the doubt there.
Yeah, Paul Hodkinson on that far side, raising the flag, much to the frustration of the packed CBS arena. Paul's at the feet of Egil Selvik from Udinese, the Norwegian international. Not kept a clean sheet yet this season. In fact, his last clean sheet was on the 8th of April. Chris is making noises next to him.
Did he mean that, Rushworth? You see it? He just dinked the ball with a little bit of backspin to Van Ewijk there. It was an outstanding pass.
On the charge down this left-hand side, Mason Clark towards the edge of the penalty area, goes down, keeps the ball. Referee immediately saying no penalty. De Silva's ball in is a decent one. I think there was a little bit of afters there maybe with Bart and Mason Clark. Ball was cleared out as far as Grimes, who keeps it alive, just dropping it into the feet of Bobby Thomas at the edge of the centre circle.
We'll have to say, I think Ngakia knows he's very much in a game there. There's no need to make that challenge. It was a shoulder to basically the shoulder in the kind of right hand side of the back. If it was given, it's a silly one to actually challenge. He's not going anywhere. You've done your job. Look at this between the two
Mason
of them.
Clark's got the better of Ngakia this time. Down this left hand side, Clark towards the byline, puts the cross in. Selvik punches it away from inside his 6-yard area, and it'll be a throw on this near side for Coventry City. I wouldn't say they're running riot, but they're certainly well in control of this game right now.
Yeah, definitely Mason Clark there getting the better of Ngakia. What I will say, he's done ever so well to get into that position, manipulated the ball onto his left, got his head up, but the execution of the pass, I think he's got to do better there. There's 3-4 bodies in the 6-yard box waiting for the service.
Heading towards 19 minutes played at the CBS Arena. Coventry City 2, Watford 0. Van Ewijk with a throw down this left-hand side, level with the penalty spot, launched into the edge of the 6-yard area, evades everyone, it's coming back out to Van Ewijk, gets a first touch, then drills it across the edge of the 6-yard box. 2 blue shirts, none of whom could get a touch on it, and Watford will try and counter. On that far side, Rocco Vata just loses out. Thomas then skips in and puts the ball into touch, and it'll be a throw for Watford midway inside their own half on the left-hand side.
Again, it's just anticipation from Van Ewijk, isn't it? Great throw in. It's great header as well, defensive header, but he's onto it. As soon as he throws it in, he's driving into the box with pace, takes it away, and it's not a bad ball right across the 6-yard line. Can someone gamble, just try and get any contact? All the pace was on the ball in from Van Ewijk.
Wrexham away next up. Again, you'll hear live on Talksport 2 on Halloween night. Next challenge that awaits Frank Lampard's side after today. It's batch of 5. The game that's kind of caught my eye is Middlesbrough away. That game will be coming towards the back end of November. Who knows where both those clubs will be at that point, but at the moment, the top 2 in the Championship as things stand. Rushworth's come out and missed it, and there was a boot in on it from Dumbia, who got it past him, but it's excellent covering defending that time by his centre halves, who've just helped him out of trouble there.
Yeah, definitely. Rushworth made the decision early that he's going to come, then he staggered a little bit. Dumbia was onto it, got there first, but Dumbia, again, you're going to get hit. He actually kind of shies away from it, but he gets touch of the ball. Be strong there. Take the touch of the ball. Make sure you're alive to get the second one. Thomas and Kitchen come across and snuff out the danger there.
Corner kick for Coventry City. On that far side, Coventry kick for Watford, should I say, on the far side, right by the Coventry City supporters. It's going to be Ngakia, who swings it in, and it's Rushworth who gathers under pressure from Sissoko, but he did well there.
Yeah, good hands. It's not a bad ball at all. Sissoko just timed it wrong, the jump, but Rushworth, very good hands, and then, like you say, starts the attack as well.
He does, finds Hadji right on the far side and dropped in short to Sakamoto, and then eventually the ball calmly, unsurprisingly, at the feet of Bobby Thomas. De Silva, and then picked up by Matt Grimes. Forward to Jamie Allen. Coventry happy to play inside their own half for a moment, then Kitchen with a little burst of pace. The centre half drives forward into Watford territory. Back with De Silva on halfway, and then all the way back once more to Rushworth away to our right hand side. Matt Grimes that's what he does in that midfield, doesn't he? I was telling you downstairs earlier. The pass before the pass that creates opportunities 16 times so far this season. Just shows his tremendous ability, strength, and he recovers the ball so well too.
Consistency, every single performance, someone that you can trust. He's very comfortable receiving the ball in all areas of the pitch. He can drive with it, he can see a pass, execute it, brings goals to the game. He does the lot, you know what I mean, sees the danger, covers the yards, you know what I mean. Fantastic football, and an absolute delight when he became available.
Midway point of the first half, 2-0 Coventry City lead. You're listening to EFL Game Day Live on Talksport 2. Don't forget, Jeff Stelling, Ali McCoist are returning with breakfast on Monday morning over on Talksport, the Superstar Breakfast. Fantastic guests as ever. Plus, of course, they'll be looking ahead to a big week of Carabao Cup action. We'll be finding out the quarter-finalists in the League Cup by the close of play Wednesday night. All the reaction and the build-up every single morning, of course, throughout the week over on Talksport. You could, of course, maybe try some music with Chris Evans if you fancy that, and you can get all of that by downloading the Talksport app, which you're going to need on Wednesday night when we bring you 3 Carabao Cup ties. Long one down this near side for Watford to try and press Coventry a little bit, but the ball just floats out of play and it'll be a throw to Coventry midway inside their own half.
Yeah, it's going to be very difficult. Anyone in the defensive unit of Watford, as soon as they get the ball, Coventry are going basically man for man. So I think they just have to solve it. Can you go a little bit longer? Try and hit the likes of a Doumbia, a Sissoko when he goes into that defensive line of Coventry, and just pick up second balls, but play in the right areas. At the minute, Coventry are comfortable with and without the ball.
Ball hooked forward by Haji Wright. Well, he did that without even looking, and he's passed it brilliantly to that right-hand side. Van Ivik forward. Wright's continued his run inside the penalty area, but the curling cross from Van Ivik is just behind him, and it's easily cleared away by Ngakia at the edge of the penalty area.
Well, Mason Clark's offside. He's offside all the way. He's running in. He's looking across the line. So the ball coming in, if it does break to him there, he's going to be offside. So just have a little bit of savvy there. You don't have to be there. You know, Ngakia is nowhere near. He's so compact. He's right beside Caban. So straight away, just hang out a little bit. If that ball breaks to you, you're going to get an opportunity to go, but do not be offside.
You mentioned earlier on about teams that have gone unbeaten in 11 games, being 12 of them, with 5 of them being promoted from the Championship. The other statistic, maybe to stick some caution on Coventry City, there have been 9 previous teams to score more than 31 goals in their opening 11 games, and 4 of those actually ended up being promoted. The last of which was Crystal Palace, and they finished 10th. So it is still early days.
I tell you what, your stats are just doom and gloom, aren't they? What about that other one as well?
Here's Bart, loser at the edge of the box, drills one, and what a save. Low down to his left-hand side by Carl Rushworth. Well, when he's been needed, he's delivered for Coventry City this season, and he turns that one round for a corner.
Well, it's an excellent save with the left hand there. You can't give Imran Louza that space, especially at the edge of the box, because he will let one go. Accuracy was there. The keeper was up to the challenge. Good, strong left hand, just to knock it, steer it round the post.
Well, Faye said earlier she's a glass half full. I'm clearly a glass half empty.
Yeah, definitely. Oh my goodness.
Here's the corner for Watford. Loser again towards the edge of the penalty area, only half cleared. Trying to control it was Abankwah, doesn't quite manage it. Coventry get it clear from the edge of the box though, and it'll be Ngakia who's forced all the way back to Egil Selvik, away to our left hand side in that Watford goal. The away form has been absolutely horrendous. Lowest scorers on the road alongside Ipswich, just 3 goals this season. Really has been awful. Last away clean sheet back in March, that was against Plymouth.
Well, it's a hard one to put your finger on. I'm looking at, I covered the game on Wednesday night at home to West Brom. Obviously there's been a few different changes, but the players that were outstanding just haven't got into the game. Is that down to how well Coventry are playing?
Bit of both, isn't it? Doumbia just loses the ball on halfway. Here's Haji Wright, offside flag is up, midway inside the Watford half, and that's going to be a free kick for Watford.
But he's right. I'm looking at Haji Wright there. He's motioning, signalling to the Bobby Thomas. It was there. The ball's got to come quicker. He's making the run. He's playing in the shoulder.
Oh, Watford have given it away here. Here's Sakamoto in a central area, ball at feet. He's got Mason Clark to his left-hand side, edge of the penalty area. Mason Clark on his right foot, looks to hit one, but he's caught it with the outside of his boot when he tried to bend it, and it was always fading away. A bit like one of my golf shots from Egil Selvik's goal, away to our left-hand side.
Yeah, as soon as before he even received the ball there, I knew he was going to try and get a shot away, but again, Thomas Asante having a little word with Sakamoto because he made an excellent run. The ball could have been played. Sakamoto took that extra touch. The opportunity's gone then. So like you say, when you've got players like Hadji Wright, Thomas Asante, and like even Sakamoto and Mason Clark, on the moment they're playing on that shoulder. You've got to play the ball. That's like, look at the players that they've got that can play the ball forward. If you're looking at Matt Grimes, one of the best in the business, that ball has to come quicker.
It's 11 away games without a victory for Watford. So impressive at home, though. That's the thing, isn't it? Four wins, 2-1 at home so far this season. But like you said, they have this habit of falling behind, as they did against West Brom. You were watching them midweek, but managed to turn it round.
Yeah, well, they showed great character. You know, I think when that Thomas Asante goal goes in, you think, okay, expect a reaction. But when Jamie Allen gets his second goal, then you have to really step up, and they've not really got into the match. And look at this now. Coventry without the ball. That's Jamie Allen going pressing. Kayembe in there.
Yep, Kayembe's dropped in short to try and pick that up at the edge of the penalty area, but he had Allen for company. I'm not sure it's a fair contest, those two, in terms of height in particular. Oh, Bobby Thomas has gone down. No foul, says the referee. Doumbia inside the penalty area. Tight angle, runs it out of play. And it will be a corner for Watford. I think there was a feeling there was a foul on Bobby Thomas, who's absolutely furious with Dean Whitestone, the referee, but it allowed Doumbia in, but he just couldn't make enough of it.
Yeah, well, there definitely was contact, little clip of the heel. Obviously, Thomas goes to floor, but Doumbia has to let the shot away. He's done ever so well. He's got an opportunity. He tries to just take it in, cut in on his right, and take Kitchen out the game there. Ask Rushworth the question. You know what I mean? You have to, especially when the opportunity presents itself like that.
He's only 19, no goal since April for Doumbia, so lacking in a bit of confidence, you feel, but they trust in him. They feel he's got something about him, and every time I've seen, he's been quite impressive without managing to hit the net. A couple of goals last season, but this time round not yet hit the campaign, as that ball's lifted into the Coventry box, and Rushworth just plucks it out of the air and bowls it out to Hadji Wright immediately, who's trying to get the better of Sissoko. Goes down. Referee says get yourself up. Sissoko has the strength on that occasion to outmuscle Hadji Wright and win the ball for Watford. They'll pull on the shirt from Mason Clark that time, and the offside flag is up against Watford. Well, they're looking across the entire line, and again they've been caught offside, and there's a bit of moaning about when the ball's being played from Doumbia.
Well, he's right. The ball has to be played earlier, especially there. I've got to say, Rushworth, the Coventry goalkeeper, an excellent throw to Hadji Wright, you know, to really put Kiben. It was Sissoko that was actually took responsibility and followed him all the way, but Hadji Wright tried to just take the ball across the path of Sissoko there. But he's spot on. Doumbia, the ball has to come, especially when that defensive unit of Coventry step up. All the space is in behind.
Charge on here on that far side. Bowler is away towards the byline. Continues his run, but just runs it out of play again. Good physical defending from Van Ivik on that far side as we approach the half-hour mark. You listen to EFL Game Day Live on Talksport 2. Coventry City 2, Watford 0. How much is a player when you're in this scenario? So we've got one team here whose confidence is overflowing, particularly at home as well, and the way they're flying. And yet you've got a Watford side who just can't buy an away win. How much does it become a mental game after a while?
Of course it does. You know, but like you say, that's why probably you change personnel, you try and mix things up, you give them a game plan. But if you're going to go out and concede the goal within a couple of minutes, does that confidence no good whatsoever? But you still got to show then, and they've got opportunities just before the goal. Rocco Vata should have.
Here he is again, Rocco Vata cuts the ball back across the 6-yard area. Interception again from Van Ivik. Well, we saw from Paolo Pezzolano. He tried the three at the back away from home a few times. Didn't quite get them the result they wanted. We thought they may have tried that today, but obviously Javi Garcia's got his own ideas.
Well, he has, especially after a good second half performance at home at Vicarage Road. You want to try and take that kind of confidence, but I think you make so many changes as well. You know, I was surprised with the changes that he's made, but Boller and Gakia have influenced this game the way that I know that they can do.
Sissoko swings that one in, and it's straight onto the roof of the net. And out and behind for a goal kick to Coventry City, away to our right-hand side. Don't forget, around the grounds with Adrian Dime, early start for them today because there's no live Premier League game this lunchtime over on Talksport. They've just got underway. So if you want to follow all the games and the goals as they go in throughout the afternoon, Talksport, of course, is the place to be. If you want live Championship commentary this afternoon, then we will bring you Millwall Leicester from 3 o'clock. And don't forget, we've got heavyweight boxing tonight as well across the network. I'll tell you about that in a moment, because again, Coventry are trying to take advantage of a mix-up at the back from Watford. And it's Ngakia who will bring it clear for the visitors over the top. Kitchen just lets it run towards Rushworth at the edge of his penalty area, and he gathers quite comfortably.
Well, I think Hadji Wright has to have a little word with referee Dean Whitestone there. Caban was all over him, both hands on the shoulders, pulling him down. I've got to say, Whitestone actually seen it, was in a great position, and just never blowed. Very surprising.
So tonight, of course, we got the heavyweight boxing for you. The undercard of Parker against Wardley is here on Talksport 2. All right, you do his shadow boxing.
Who have you got for that?
And then Parker Wardley will be on Talksport. I think Parker.
The experience, isn't it?
Yep.
But Wardley's got the power, isn't it? Just one punch, it could, mind you.
Parker's got power too.
Yeah, but he can take a punch as well.
Yeah, it should be a great fight.
Yeah.
O2 Arena, of course, tonight. We'll have it for you live across the two stations. The undercard here on Talksport 2 and the big fight over on Talksport. That's once we're done with Brentford against Liverpool tonight, as well, Liverpool don't want a fourth straight Premier League defeat, do they? Having put things right midweek, you feel, in the Champions League with that win against Frankfurt, but we've got that for you live tonight from 8 o'clock on Talksport. Just another of the 500 commentaries we're bringing you throughout the season, culminating, of course, in the World Cup final in New York. That will be in July. In fact, I think it's July the 19th, we can safely say. That's the date of the World Cup final.
World Cup final, yeah, I was just going to say.
That'll be the end of our very long season. 12 minutes to go to half-time. Coventry City 2, Watford 0. 2 goals in the first 7 minutes if you've just joined us this afternoon. Brandon Thomas Asante, who can't stop scoring. That's 7 goals in his last 6 appearances for the Ghanaian. When you consider he only scored 4 goals all of last season. Again, the influence of Lampard.
Yeah, he's doing very well for my fantasy team as well. Adam, I've got to say, delightful. I've got Hadji Wright up top with him as well today, so I'm disappointed he was offside there.
I wonder what that was for. Here's Rushworth, edge of his own penalty area. Real confidence about this back line of Coventry City.
I've got to say, his distribution is outstanding. Rushworth, from the hands, from the feet as well. He just knows he's got that quality, just lifting it over the Watford striker, even in the midfield. But it's on point.
Well, Matt Murray was here with me for the Birmingham City game. I'll come back to that in a minute about Rushworth. Barr cuts it back, chance to shoot, and it's blocked off the line. Brilliantly in the end by Grimes. And now a left-footed drive. Oh, what a save! What a hit that was as well. The left foot of Kayembe. And that was arrowing with such power into the top corner. And Rushworth with a terrific fingertip save to turn it round the post.
How's he saved it? We've got the direct line. Kayembe struck it. The ball's moving right into the top left-hand corner. The tip of the fingers just knocks it. I tell you what a save that is. Unbelievable. Better from Watford though.
It's a terrific save. It is better from Watford. They're trying to find a way back into this game. They trail 2-0. Corner, swung in, headed away. This time by Kitching. Does brilliantly to get his head on that. Maybe Bobby Thomas actually got the final touch. Long one swung in again, this time, and once more it's Thomas to head that ball away. And now maybe there's a counter on here. Let's see what can be done with this. Down this left-hand side. Charging forward, still got possession of the ball. Van Ijvik's done brilliantly. He's escaped from 2. Van Ijvik still going and then pokes the shot just wide of the left-hand post. I mean, it's a counter-attack of pace and brilliance from Van Ijvik. He's struggled his way between 2 defenders, and then his outstretched boot just puts it wide of the left-hand post.
Yeah, he's made it all himself there. Great quality. What I will say, and this is not, I've got to have a go at Mason Clark, I've got to have a go at Thomas Asante there, break your neck, because he's looking.
Well, it's a chance maybe, and it's another brilliant stop, and it was Rocco Vata, central area, really should have scored for Watford, and then immediately Coventry counter again. down this near side with Mason Clark and Gakia. That's better, but it is a throw-in for Coventry City on this near side. Sakamoto's down.
Yeah, he's taking a very sore one there from Quadwo Bois. I think Dean Whitestone is going to have a word. Very surprised the yellow card's not coming out there. It was a late challenge. Might have been a genuine attempt for the ball. I thought Dean Whitestone would have brought it back with Mason Clark and Gakia. It's never got any real advantage from the plate. But it's a Coventry throw here.
It is.
What about that save, by the way?
Oh.
Rushworth. That's at 2 1-on-1 scenarios at Rocco Vata. Very much creating the chances, but you've got to be clinical, especially here.
Van Ijvik's leaving this one actually to De Silva. He's probably still puffing from that breakaway from the corner. Throw is short to Mason Clark at the edge of the penalty area. De Silva has it out wide on this left-hand side, level with the penalty spot, cutting infield. De Silva still going here. Never scored a goal for Coventry City. 92nd appearance today, and his eyes lit up for a moment then as he danced inside the penalty area. But in the end, it's going to be a throw to Coventry, just inside their own half. De Silva will come back and take it, and we've got 8 minutes to go to half-time here. What a game of football this is as well.
Unbelievable. Even under the pressure of Ngakia and Caban there, Van Ijvik, he's still looking across. He's still looking across thinking, I've got to take the shot on. He's still wanting to pass it across the face of goal. He's just toe-poked it, and it just went wide of the right-hand post.
Here's Thomas Asante. Gets it through towards Haji Wright, and he would have been onside, but just a little deflection that time off a Bankwood took it away from him. On that far side, ball picked up by Mark Bowler. Not seen too much of him. Offside flag up. Good line from Coventry City.
Well, see Sakamoto again, breaking his neck to get in the fight. I need more from Bowler. Go forward, take him on. You've got that full half to run into. Van Ijvik's a little bit of a greater distance away, so you can take Sakamoto on there, turn him back. You need to be aggressive. You need to be progressive thinking there. I don't understand why you're coming back, allowing Coventry to set up again.
7 minutes to go to half-time. Coventry City 2, Watford 0. Talksport 2 on a Saturday afternoon. All afternoon, of course, we are your home of the EFL. A couple of live commentaries for you. Coming up next, Millwall against Leicester. Millwall in terrific form, of course. Leicester just struggling to find victories. Plenty of draws. That's from 3 o'clock this afternoon. Ian Dancher and Perry Groves will guide you through that one in the company of Faker others as well, of course, as Thomas Asante is fouled on the far side. Another free kick for Coventry. This one's probably about 15, maybe 20 yards inside the Watford half. Right on the touchline on that far side. Matt Grimes' left foot looks favourite for this one. Elsewhere, it's been fairly quiet in the Championship this lunchtime. Ipswich 0, West Brom 0. Portsmouth 0, Stoke 0, as things stand. Bolton 0, Cardiff 0, Mansfield 0, Wigan 0 in League One. And the only other goal we know about was that goal for Accrington Stanley away at Fleetwood. In fact, Mansfield are ahead now in League One. Header on by Bobby Thomas towards the edge of the 6-yard area, hacked behind by Ibankwa, and out of play for what will be another corner, this time for Coventry City.
And you look at the reaction of Hadji right there as well, looking to the skies because he knows he was reactive. It's going to Bobby Thomas. He's going to win a majority of those aerial duels. You gamble every single time, don't you? And if you do, you get an opportunity there at goal.
A little surprising they've not doubled up on Bobby Thomas, given that he's invariably the target for the knockdowns and all the rest of it. You thought that may be part of the game plan, but Birmingham City didn't do that either here and got punished for it. Grimes is going to take this, but the referee just intervening in the edge of the 6-yard area. Just a word with Brandon Thomas Asante, who's battling, I think, with Ngakia in there. Desperate defending at times from Watford, but they've had opportunities in this game. They're 2 down, but could well have scored themselves. Grimes, a real floater towards that back post, looking for Bobby Thomas again. It's clear this time by Kayembe, and now Sissoko has it. Helps it on to Dumbia. And now again, not for the first time, Rocco Vata is through. Rocco Vata, tight angle. He's closed down by Van Ijvik, and he fires it 7 or 8 yards high and wide of Rushworth's left-hand post from about 14 yards out.
I've got to say, it's excellent play as well. He's timed his run perfectly, Vata. Little ball in behind as well. Unbelievable. It's just about hitting the target. Van Ijvik's on him. He knows he's going to get the opportunity, but that pressure, that's where he's got to do better. You've got to ask Rushworth a few questions there, at least hit the target.
4 minutes to go to half-time. Half-time will look ahead to that game between Millwall and Leicester this afternoon, as we rejoin Faye, who is at the New Den. Launched forward by Rushworth this time. Flicked in the wrong direction by Sissoko, and it gives Thomas Asante a chance. And then Sakamoto. 3-0 Coventry City, and Sakamoto from the edge of the penalty area. As simple as Route 1 football. Sakamoto has his second of the championship season, and surely now Coventry City are going to extend their unbeaten run and extend their lead at the top of the championship. It's Coventry City 3, Watford 0, and it's not even half-time.
Yeah, it's a great goal. I've got to say, I think just on his front foot there, Thomas Asante just put Abankwah under a little bit of pressure. The ball's bouncing, but then Sakamoto just comes in, takes it off. He's 22, 23 yards from goal, manipulates the ball onto his left, but goes to the bottom right-hand corner. And it's a difficult one for Selvik because he's moving across goal and he has to go back. I think he can still react to try and make some attempt, but it's a fantastic finish from Sakamoto.
Listen, just in the replay, the keeper's got to do better there. He really has. That's gone under his arm.
It's went 3 players. There's 3 Watford players in front of Sakamoto as well. So straight away, Selvik, he sees it a little bit late, but I agree with you. It struck well, but he's got to make more of an attempt there.
As you've said already today, I'm doom and gloom, so I'm blaming the keeper. It's a great finish. It's a gregreat finish, but Selvik's got to do better. He's in the middle of the goal, and he's managed to put it into the bottom corner from the kind of the left-hand side of him. Really bizarre, but 3-0 it is. 2 minutes to go, and no wonder they're all heading off for their half-time pie here, quite happy. I don't know how they can dare leave. There's going to be a goal at any minute, you feel?
Well, there's a group of, 30 just went past there and missed the third goal there.
On halfway, here's Watford. A sorry bunch away from home, it would appear. It's trying to be brought forward by Cabba on this near side, doesn't get there. Haji Wright's broken the offside trap. Haji Wright still going. Is he brought down there? Is it a penalty or is it a free kick? And it's going to be a card potentially. It's a red card. It is a sending off. Haji Wright was through. The challenge coming in. I think it came in from Abankwah, and he's going to see red for it. Sent off by Dean Whitestone, and the referee points to the tunnel and tries to send him away. The arguments continue for Watford players surrounding Whitestone at the edge of the penalty area. Clear goal scoring opportunity. He was through on the keeper, and he's going on his way here.
Terrible challenge. It's just lazy defending. Haji Wright done ever so well, got in between the centre backs. It was always a running race, but his first touch just takes it across the running path of Abankwah. But to go and make the challenge, if anything, just put pressure on him. Just try and make some sort of contact with your hands, so it put Haji Wright off. But to go to ground, it's shocking defending. And he's walking off and he's going to argue, even if he got the ball, he's taking the player first there. It's a shocking challenge, Adam.
To be fair, if you'd just touched the player on the field like that, I'd have gone down. You're very firm,
no, because he's going to get an opportunity at goal there, Haji Wright. But as a defender, once the striker's got the advantage, you've got to just try and put him off subtly, haven't you?
Isn't it the debate though? What is better? So he's given away a free kick here at the edge of the box, but they're down to 10 men. Surely just let him, not let him go, but put the pressure on without fouling him and see if your keeper can save it.
Yeah,
surely.
You're 3-0 down, so it makes no difference to go 4-0, really, does it? But yeah, I agree with you. Poor defending. For me, I don't know why he's went to ground, why he's made the challenge.
They're making a change. Sissoko's coming off. Pollock is coming on, so that's the technical change from Gracia and the circumstances. Let's just set this free kick up for you. It's to the left of the D by about 4 or 5 yards. Very much going to suit a right footer here. 3 minutes added time coming. Watford are down to 10 men. They're 3 goals down, and it's half a yard outside the penalty area.
Yeah, I'll let you say it. Can they try and capitalise on this? Watford, it will just go basically like a 4-4-1 now, isn't it? Isolation. Now Matty Pollock comes on, Sissoko off, and it'll be probably you look at Dombia just up top on his own.
Well, Matt Grimes is over it. I mean, he's not going to hit it, I wouldn't have thought, because he's left-footed, unless he's going to try and bend it round the wall the other way. Thomas Asante is probably the favourite here. Well, no, Grimes has placed the ball. The two of them are the only ones left now. The referee just setting the wall. To me, looks that's level with a penalty spot. And that isn't 10 yards.
Yeah.
Because this is not 22 yards out. Very generous from the referee. Here's the free kick then. Thomas Asante and Grimes are over it. Takes a deflection, spins towards the edge of the 6-yard area and is hacked clear. Back into the danger zone. It comes from Kitching. To the far side, Bobby Thomas flicks it on. Pollock, the substitute, gets it away to Imran Loser on that far side. Loser then keeps the ball alive and finds Bola. We're into the 3 added minutes at the end of this first half. In fact, we've had 90 seconds of it already, with Coventry leading 3-0. Bola on that far side, charging forward. Sakamoto there with him, and he runs it into touch, and it will be a throw on that far side for Coventry City.
Yeah, this is going to be a very difficult afternoon now for Watford. Already was having them all there. But I tell you, just Sissoko goes off. You just think Coventry now, if you're Lampard, it's just about putting Watford to the sword now. Go out, really punish them, get some goals, enjoy, get minutes. But I tell you what's another strong challenge.
Well, and that's going to be a yellow card for Doumbia for his reaction. He's literally clattered into Matt Grimes there. Absolutely no attempt to play the ball. And Doumbia is still going, and he's now waving his hand in the air at the referee. He's not careful. He could get done for a bit of double dissent here. And we could have a double sending off.
I think it's a strong challenge, Adam. I do think he is going for the ball. I think there's a coming together there. But I think Matt Grimes knew he was going to take a sore one. Got himself between ball and man, and Doumbia still tries to go for the ball. But his reaction, he does have to be very, very careful.
Coventry fans enjoying themselves. You're going to cry in a minute, is the chorus that's ringing around the CBS arena. Doumbia absolutely furious about that free kick. Earned himself a yellow card for dissent. And the free kick will be Bobby Thomas's. We've had the 3 added minutes at the end of this first half. I suspect Javi Gracia would just like to get his team in and put them out of their misery at the end of this opening 45 minutes, which has been dreamlike for Coventry City. Here's Thomas Asante inside the penalty area, looking to try and finish it off in style. Cleared away this time on this near touchline by, I think it was away by Kebban. And now it's picked up by De Silva, loses out to Ngakia. And now Barr, down this right-hand side. Barr still going. What's the foul? Gets the foul. The challenge from Liam Kitchen is penalised. And the referee will give Watford a free kick, which they've taken quickly. Barr on the charge. He's got support outside him on that right-hand side. Right for the ball in from Ngakia. Half cleared from the edge of the penalty area by Jamie Allen, the scorer of Coventry's second goal. And now clipped down the right-hand side. Barr towards the byline. Good intervention. Throwing down this right-hand side for Watford, left with a penalty spot. We've had way beyond the 3 minutes added at the end of this first half. 3-0. Coventry lead Watford here on Talksport 2. We'll be building up to Millwall Leicester, which is our 3 o'clock game today, during the half-time period. Throw-in meanwhile down this right-hand side. They're going to try the long throw this time. It's been effective in this game already for Coventry City. Barr will launch it. Nowhere near as effective as Van Ivik. Up in the air it goes. It's only been half cleared. Far edge of the penalty area. Liam Kitching's there, and it will be a corner. No time for the corner for Watford. The half-time whistle goes. And what a 45 minutes for the league leaders. Unbeaten so far this season, and they look like they're about to add another 3 points to their tally. And we're only 45 minutes in. Brandon Thomas Asante with the first goal on 3 minutes. Jamie Allen with a thunderbolt from the edge of the penalty area after another Van Ivik long throw on 7 minutes. And Sakamoto 3 minutes before half-time from the edge of the penalty area with a shot that really Selvik should have done better with. Watford have had a Banquer sent off as well after he brought down Haji Wright when he was bearing down on goal. And Carl Rushworth and his team at the back have made some terrific stops, but him, a clearance off the line as well from Grimes to deny Watford, who've had some good chances in this game. But away from home, the ball just not falling for them, and can anyone stop this Coventry City train right now? Half-time here at the CBS Arena. Coventry City 3, the 10 men of Watford 0.
Wow, what an incident-filled first half of football. Right from the off, Coventry were on it, weren't they? And Watford really struggling, Chris. But they'd got themselves back into it and just architects of their own downfall, ultimately. But let's focus on the brilliance of Coventry. 2 goals up within the first 7 minutes, and they just looked so dominant.
Yeah, confidence, that's winning games. They know exactly what they're about. especially here at home. You know, it's fantastic to watch. I think without the ball as well, excellent. Everyone takes responsibility, but with it, such a threat. You know, you look at that attacking four, you know, Sakamoto, the quality coming in, wow, just right on the money. But again, fantastic little goal. Thomas Asante asking that question. They just have a real fluency as they move the ball. Great energy, going from back to front with great quality as well. Rushworth doing his job. Some of the saves he made in the first half, across the board, it's been absolutely outstanding for the team. Frank Lampard will be absolutely delighted with that. Completely in control, even when there was when everyone was on the pitch.
Yeah, I mean, they're completely in control without a doubt. But actually, especially in the opening 20-25 minutes, Watford were all over the place defensively. The first goal from Brandon Thomas Asante, but particularly that second goal from Jamie Allen. You talked in commentary about the long throw doing damage this season. Only his second start of the season, and he poached on it. But there were 6 Watford defenders versus the 3 to 4 attackers of Coventry, and they had no idea what they were doing, the Watford players.
Well, you're spot on. I think if you don't go and win that first contact, where's the danger? And that's where they have to take responsibility in that second phase, get closer or make the contact. Jamie Allen was alive to it, and he decided very early on that he was going to take the shot on. Great quality, great accuracy in his execution as well. But like, you're spot on. I think defensively, not being at it. You know, getting asked far too many questions, not having the answers as well, but just take responsibility, open your shoulders up, body positioning from crosses, go win the first contact, be alive to the second. If you don't win the first, not being at it at all, Faye. And like you say, obviously Matty Pollock coming on, who's a leader as well, Abankwah, I don't know what he's doing, making the challenge. Hadji Wright's got in behind, so you know what? Make sure you just try and put a little bit of pressure on him. Hopefully Selvik will make the save. You're still 3-0 down, but you've got everyone on the pitch. So it was just poor defending from me.
It was, and they had loads of chances, Watford. They're brilliant on the counter-attack, Coventry. That's the way they're set up. And then Sakamoto goes and scores that wonderful goal to make it 3-0. And then it was a moment of madness, it felt, from James Abankwah. You know, clearly a red card, denying a clear goal-scoring opportunity. Hadji Wright was through on goal. But you know, he's put his side in a pickle when at 2-0 down, they looked as if they were going to get themselves back into the game before first half. Now the game is completely gone and they've got to play 45 minutes with 10 men. It was stupid.
Yeah, they've had some big opportunities. Rocco Vata had 3 opportunities, 2 1-on-1 situations where he's just got to have a little bit more composure, find a corner. You know, Rushford's done very well. The Kayembe shot going right into the top left-hand corner. I know you'd have probably been watching that. What a save that is. He just tips it with the tip of his fingers round the post. But like you say, I think Rushford for me has been outstanding because he starts the attack. He's with his hands, with his feet, his distribution has been absolutely on point. And I mean, he gets them going. They've got willing runners. And then on occasion, you've got Thomas Asante, even Hadji Wright saying the ball can come quicker. Because, like you say, I think the Watford defence a little bit in disarray. That they're asking that question, playing on the shoulders. They want that one in behind because they don't know if they're coming or going. They're not all stepping up together. And like you say, I think Coventry are definitely capitalising on that.
Yeah, without a doubt, they are. Matty Pollock on for Sissoko to shore things up for Watford and see if they can keep the score down. But a dominant performance from Frank Lampard's Coventry. 3-0 up at half-time. Back with you shortly. Chris, over on Talksport right now. Game Day Live has kicked off with Adrian Durham taking you around the grounds from the Premier League and the EFL. A reminder for you, you can use the Talksport app to swipe between stations if you would like. We've got second half commentary at the CBS Arena coming next. It is 3-0 to Coventry at the break, and we'll go through the other half-time scores from the lunchtime kickoffs and look ahead to our 3 p.m. Championship game here at the Den as Millwall face Leicester.
Your live sports station.
Oh, what a move.
This is Talksport 2. Hawksby and Jacobs on your side every weekday afternoon from 1 on Talksport with Toolstation, delivering cutting-edge comment, a catalogue of riveting guests, and drilled-down dialogue to power up your lunchtime. Plus, breaking news, views, and loads of laughs. Don't miss the nation's favourite sporting lunch with the legendary Hawksby and Jacobs every weekday afternoon from 1 on Talksport with Toolstation. Next stop, Toolstation.
Get that Euro Millions feeling this Friday. 10 UK winners are guaranteed to be millionaires. That's 10 more reasons to dance. 10 more robots, 10 more Lumbos, 10 more salsas. 10 UK winners are guaranteed to be millionaires this Friday. Euro Millions from the National Lottery. Play on app.
Account terms, rules and procedures apply. Players must be 18 or over. Switching to Vodafone full fibre broadband is now as easy as pie. Oh, freshly baked. It's a walk in the park. Hello, little fella. It's like taking candy from a baby. Come on, as if I'd do that. With One Touch Switch, it's easy. We sort everything out for you. We even contact your current provider. Plus, we'll help towards leaving fees. Switch today to full fibre broadband with Vodafone.
Up to £200 credit to cover leaving fees. More information and terms at vodafone.co.uk/broadband.
Right, listen up. You've got the power, electrical, diesel. You've got the lineup, combo, Vivaro, Movano. Whatever your game plan, Vauxhall's got your back. And here's the kicker, 0% APR across the range. Zero, nothing. With a minimum 20% deposit, you're already on the front foot. So what are you waiting for? Vauxhall Van Range, energising a better Britain. Search Vauxhall Vans. Conditional sale, 20% minimum deposit required. Business users only, subject to status and availability. T's and C's, 18+, Stellantis Financial Services.
Hiya, I'm Mike, colleague here at Asda Pilsworth, and I've got some big news to share with you about all the incredible prices I've seen in store. So turn up the volume now.
Wowza, Mike. That's right, because Asda have got over 3,000 rollbacks across the store and online to help lower the cost of your weekly shop.
That's good, honest value.
That's Asda price. Selected stores and lines. Subject to availability. Excludes Asda Express and small stores. See asda.com/small stores.
After a magical visit to the Kingdom of Caring, there's been a spooky mashup in Happy Meal, and the Care Bears are all jumbled up. Join the Care Bears on their most spellbinding adventure yet. Some fun, some food, it's all inside this Happy Meal. Until 4th of November, from 11 a.m. Includes one pre-selected book or toy, while stocks last. Subject to availability, fair ordering policy applies.
There's never been a better time to join Sky.
Oh my God.
This autumn, for our lowest price, you won't just get all of Sky Sports, with more Premier League and WSL games than ever before.
Staggering moments!
And every F1 race live.
Absolutely epic!
You'll also get unmissable entertainment from Sky and Netflix too.
We're going to have so much fun.
Visit sky.com. Sky. Believe in better. New Sky TV customers only. Requires Sky Stream and relevant Sky TV subscriptions. Minimum broadband speed of 25 megabits per second recommended. 18+.
At Wix, we can help you get the job done. Get what you need, picked and ready in as little as 15 minutes with Click and Collect. And right now, save on quality kitchens, timber, doors and more in The Big Event. Shop The Big Event in-store or online. Terms apply.
Feel the power and the glory. It's goal time.
And he scored, it's a brilliant goal.
Fired up and raring to go.
EFL Live
on Talksport 2.
Ivanovic through, Millwall with a chance. Oh, what a lovely finish! What a delightful finish from Mihailo Ivanovic.
We've gave ourselves a real good starting point, and for now, can we go and try and build on that and win as many games as we can?
Fatawu cuts onto his left and carves it into the top corner in front of the Foxes fans in the Jimmy Seed stand. And Abdel Fatawa has given Leicester the lead.
That's for me very important that we play with personality. I think it's something that in some games perhaps we have not achieved this consistency.
I see a lot of similarities to Enzo Maresca's championship winning side a couple of years ago, and the way that Cifuentes wants to play and the patterns of play that he's using and how it all starts.
What brilliant entertainment here on your home of the EFL, the Talksport Network.
This is EFL Game Day Live here on Talksport 2. Faker Others with you this afternoon. At the break, it's Coventry 3, 10-man Watford 0. Before we have a quick round up of the rest of the lunchtime scores, we can look ahead to our 3 p.m. kickoff coming live here from the Den in South London as Millwall host Leicester. Alongside me for this one, former Arsenal winger Perry Groves will join us later, and the wonderful Ian Danta is our match commentator. Dance, how are you?
Good, thanks, Faye. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. You know how much we love the Championship here on the Talksport Network. 3 points separating 3rd to 11th. And who would have thought that it'd be Millwall occupying that 3rd spot at the moment? They've made such a promising start to the season. How have you seen them?
Well, they haven't had a start like this for 30 years at this level. I mean, having dropped down briefly to League One as well, since they came down from the old First Division at the turn of the 90s. It's great to see, actually, and you look at managers being a great fit for a particular club, and it seems like Alex Neil and Millwall are a bit MFEO in terms of the way they've linked and what Alex has done to take the squad that he inherited from Gary Rowett, which, let's be fair, had come close to making the playoffs. They've had 4 8th place finishes in recent years, so they've come so close to actually getting in the postseason jamboree. So they're as well placed as they've ever been, and there's some really exciting talent here that you should be looking forward to seeing this afternoon. Femi Aziz and Tieno Bala, who are 3 of the 2 players playing in behind the striker, well worth a look at this afternoon. Really inventive, creative. Balo's about 3 stone ringing wet, but he's got so much talent. He got 2 assists here against Stoke in the week. Do you know what, Faye? I think there's just a bit of belief around here.
And which is half the battle a lot of the time, isn't there? Especially when you think about an 8th place finish that many times, you start to think, oh, not for us. But
no.
You know, they're really challenging. It's such a competitive league this year, but particularly because all 3 relegated sides from the Premier League last season have really struggled at the start of this season. I don't want to attribute that to it being the reason why other teams are doing well, but what are Leicester going to be bringing to the party today? Because it feels like they've had a bit of a hangover, but no need to panic because they're actually only a point outside of the playoffs. It's that tight. But what have you made of them on pitch?
Well, the first half at Hull on Tuesday was really, really poor. Marty Cifuentes talked about an unacceptable first half performance and a fragility. It's really strange with Leicester. There's the sword of Damocles hanging over them about potential points deduction, and we don't know whether they're even going to get one, or if they do, when it's going to land. They are the best placed of the 3 teams that have come down. The other 2, Southampton, bottom half, and Ipswich, bottom half. So, there's a positive to derive from that. And they'll bring loads. There'll be loads in that North Stand away to our left this afternoon, cheering the team on. But they're looking for goals. Patson Daka's not really finding the net. Jordan Ayew's not finding the net. They are finding goals from elsewhere, but there's a bit of a disconnect going on, Faye. It's really hard to put my finger on. I saw them at Huddersfield going out the EFL Cup, but that was a much changed team. It's hard for me to get a read on them just from when they make 7 or 8 changes like they did that night at the John Smiths. They've got talent though. I mean, Harry Winks, Jordan James, Abdul Fatawi, they're full of talent that should be able to do better.
Well, we know they've got it, don't we? And Leicester fans get very frustrated that they don't always realise the potential that the rest of us all see. This is a 3 o'clock kickoff here at the Den. We're expecting some of the fans making their way in at the minute. No Leicester fans yet, but a few pockets of Millwall fans making their way in and getting themselves warm an hour and a half before kickoff. Up at the CBS Arena, no problems with goals for Coventry City. They're 3-0 up against Watford, who've had a man sent off and are going to have to spend the rest of the second half with 10 players. Our team up there is Adam Bridge and former Stoke striker Chris Owellamo. The team's still not out yet, and we should be kicking off very shortly, so I wonder what Javi Gracia is having to say to his players to buoy them up and see whether or not they can keep this scoreline down. I mean, I think it would be some ask to take any points away from the CBS Arena for them this afternoon, Chris, but do you reckon he's going to be making more changes than just bringing on Matty Pollock for Sissoko at the end of the second half, at the end of the first half?
Yeah, I think Hector Cipriano's just actually out. He's doing a little bit more than everyone else. He's already got the shot off, so I think another change is going to be made here, Faye. And, I think what he brings, just a little bit of stability as well to sit and protect. Allow Imran Louza to kind of pick and choose when he ventures forward as well. He'll sit and protect that back 4. I understand the change. I was surprised at Cipriano. I thought he must have taken a knock against West Brom for him not to start today, because he was very good in the game the other day.
They've got to try and take the positives, haven't they, from that spell that they had before that third goal went in for Coventry, and try and get themselves back into this game if they can, or at least keep the scoreline down as much as they can. Players due out imminently, so I'm going to hand you over to our commentary team of Chris Owellamo and Adam Bridge here on Talksport 2.
Yeah. Thank you, Faye. They're both out, ready to go. Kayembe's the player who's departing, and he's being replaced by Hector Cipriano, of course, the former Peterborough captain, and he will enter the fray into that midfield, probably just to try and provide a little more stability in this second half, you feel. No surprise there's been goals in this tie. Well, 4 of the last 5 here had actually been drawn, but there were 13 goals in the previous 3 home games between these sides. There was actually a 3-3, so maybe all hope is not lost for Watford fans who'll be clinging on to that very small morsel. But certainly a fixture that delivers goals, and it has done today, and it's Watford who get us up and running in this second 45 minutes. Of course, they're in their traditional yellow and red shirts, red shorts and red socks, and a long ball punted forward, and it's going to spin straight out of play as it's Pollock who tries to set Rocco Vata away down this left-hand side. I'll run through the 2 teams for you. Rushworth in goal for Coventry, Van Ivik, Thomas, Kitching and De Silva at the back. It's Grimes and Allen in midfield, and Sakamoto, Thomas Asante, Mason Clark and Wright up top for Frank Lampard's side. As for Watford, of course, well, there's only 10 of them to start with. Selvic's the goalkeeper, and Ngakia, Pollock, Kevin and Bola are the back 4. It looks like it's going to be Loser alongside Kiprianu in central midfield, and then Dumbia, Vata and Barr look like they're the front 3, if that's how they continue to line up in this second half. It's Coventry on the attack. Sakamoto scored the 3rd goal down this right-hand side towards the edge of the penalty area. Now picked up by Van Ivik, who's on the charge. Van Ivik tries to get the crossover and wins the corner. Deflects off 2 Watford players, the last of which was Pollock. And a chance now for Coventry down this right-hand side from a set piece.
Yeah, again, just excellent from Van Ivik. Just on his front foot, make sure he gets there first. Driving into that right channel. Can he put the ball in? Yes, he can. I think Matty Pollock just done everything he could just to get that contact out, but corner kick it is.
And it will be Matt Grimes who will deliver it with his left foot from this right-hand side. Thomas and Kitching have gone forward as they always tend to do. Right in front of the Watford fans, Grimes, left-footed, swings it towards that back post, and Thomas wins the header, but I think he did it quite illegally, and the free kick is given by referee Whitestone, and a chance for Watford to clear their lines from away to our right-hand side. Coventry unbeaten in their last 6 home meetings against Watford. It's like they're about to make it 7. Only lost 1 of the previous 12 encounters, so history was favouring them today, and boy have they delivered as they look to extend that lead at the top of the Championship and rack up a 12th unbeaten game at the start of this campaign, and obviously continue to rattle in the goals as well. We're up to 34 for the season now, but let's not forget Watford had their moments in that first half, and Carl Rushworth has already kept 6 clean sheets this season. He won a 7th today, but there'll be a lot of patting on his back, I suspect, at half time that went on in that dressing room.
Yes, some of his saves were absolutely outstanding in the first half. He's had basically the perfect half so far. I think his distribution's been excellent. He had that one little sticky period where he decided to come. I think Dumbia took it past him, but like you say, Kitchen and Thomas were there to help the keeper out.
Sometimes say it's tricky to play against 10 men, but the home game here against Birmingham City just before half-time, Birmingham City were reduced to 10 men, and Coventry dealt with it very well. Very used to having lots of possession. The 2 centre-halves, Thomas and Kitching, had loads of the ball that day in and around the edge of the penalty area, and you'd probably expect a little bit more of that today. Here's Sakamoto down the right-hand side, on his left foot, angle of the penalty area. Lovely curling ball into the 6-yard box, and it was cleared only as far as Thomas. Grimes, 25 yards out, left-footed ball, just tries to curl it into the path of Mason Clark on that far side, but the radar was a little off that time from Matt Grimes, and Watford can try and break with Loser on the right-hand side.
Yeah, it doesn't happen too often, does it, with Matt Grimes there, but he's just got to find Mason Clark's feet there, just trying to bend it round so he can come onto it, take his first touch towards goal, but just give him the ball to feet so he can get at his man there.
As a fellow striker, you can probably think that Haji Wright's going to be a little frustrated that he's not found the target yet today in a team that scored 3. He'll be, well, that's a decent ball over the top here for Watford, and Dumbia was trying to control it, but it comes off the head of Kitching safely into the arms of Rushworth inside his penalty.
Yeah, good position from Dumbia as well, asking that question. Onside as well, the ball was just a little bit hit behind. He had to kind of try and adjust it, but that's when you want the likes of Barr to get up and try and support as quickly as you can there. So again, you're looking at Thomas and Kitchen. One of them's got to take responsibility and latch on to Dumbia. Don't give him that time and space to get in between both.
Forward comes Kitchen on that far side into the Watford half. Little layoff from Thomas Asante. Down that left-hand side is Mason Clark. He's got the support from De Silva. Instead he goes back into Kitchen, onto Mason Clark again inside the area, but out with the gather comes Selvik sliding at the edge of his 6-yard box.
Yeah, a little give and go from Mason Clark, but what you're saying about Hadji, right? Yeah, of course there'll be frustration there, especially having the goal disallowed, and then he's had that opportunity where obviously Abankwah's taking him out the game. But it's you just got to keep making sure that you still gamble. The quality that you're coming in from both sides, the link-up play. Ask the question. You know, another opportunity is going to present itself.
Funny enough, when Birmingham City went down to 10, it felt like they were quite negative, but Watford are on the attack here. Bowler down this left-hand side, gets the better of Sakamoto, pulls that one back towards Rocco Vata, but it's cleared away from inside the penalty area. Brilliant takedown by Grimes, who's then got Loser on his back. He's on top of him as well. Unnecessary probably from Imran Loser. 2 players with the captain's armband at the start of this second half. And it will be a free kick for Coventry midway inside their own half.
Yeah, he left a little bit on that, didn't he, Loser, with the forearm and the face of Grimes, but then offered the hands. So I don't know if he was saying something to him in a kind of joking way, but Grimes has got a smile on his face there anyway. But yeah, it just shows you the quality of Grimes. Got 2 on him there, had that composure to take the touch, flick it over the head, and then just knew to protect the ball and wait for the contact.
Well, Bobby Thomas is going to come off here, and it's going to be Luke Wolfenden who's coming on. So I'm going to guess that Bobby was probably feeling something in that first half, or no chances to be taken. Him and Kitchen, of course, have been this kind of ever-present pair of centre-halves, but when you've got someone with the quality of Luke Wolfenden, you don't feel too worried about him dropping in there as well. He played, of course, as a part of a back three against Portsmouth in midweek.
Well, this is exactly what recruitment is so important, isn't it? You know, you think about the quality and depth they've got when they have injuries. You're bringing on players of the same ilk. Doesn't really kind of make the team any weaker. You know, I think Wolfenden, fantastic quality as well.
Here's Grimes inside the centre circle, kitching over halfway down that left-hand side. 3-0 to Coventry. Early stages of the second half. Watford down to 10 men, of course. Here's Thomas Asante, back to halfway. Grimes is there. Wolfenden. First touch for him down the right-hand side. He's got Jamie Allen inside him. Out wide again to Wolfenden. If anything, he looks slightly taller than Bobby Thomas, does Luke Wolfenden. A very imposing figure, slotting into that back line here for Coventry City. Kitching over halfway. Driving forward into a little bit of space. Kitchen tries to go through, but Loser gets a foot onto it. On that far side, it's De Silva. And Mason Clark trying to combine with Thomas Asante. Grimes then to De Silva. Good pressing from Watford. They only have 10 men, but they are trying to apply some pressure here. When Birmingham City were reduced to 10, they went very negative, went in their shells. I don't think we're going to see that from Watford. It will be a different challenge for Coventry in this second half.
Yeah, definitely. I think Doumbia, the way he's got to try and kind of make sure that he's keeping that pressure on both centre backs. He is working very, very hard. He is very much isolated, but without the ball there.
Sakamoto and Van Ivik combined nicely, but needed some work to be done by Vata to give the ball back to his goalkeeper. Throw goes Watford's way, midway inside their own half down this left-hand side. 8 minutes into the second half, Coventry City 3, Watford 0. The Sky Blues, under Sky Blue skies, soaring back and extending their lead at the top of the table today to 4 points. Middlesbrough playing this afternoon at home against Wrexham, and it's Wrexham who are next up for Coventry on Friday night. A game you can hear on Talksport too. Prior to that, of course, Wrexham have got that game against Cardiff as well on Tuesday night in the Carabao Cup. Interesting to see how they approach that. Can you play the second 11, which is what they've done throughout the competition? Can you play the second 11 against another Welsh side?
Nope.
Who knows what Phil Parkinson's thinking, knowing also that you've got that really important league game on the Friday night. Plenty of Carabao Cup action across the network throughout the week. Of course, starting on Tuesday night, when we'll bring you Grimsby against Brentford on Talksport and Wickham against Fulham on Talksport 2. And then on Wednesday night, Liverpool against Palace is on Talksport. Arsenal against Brighton is on Talksport 2. And myself and yours truly will be watching Wolves against Chelsea. That's going to be on the Talksport app, so make sure you get that downloaded so you can swipe between those games. You're really going to need it on Wednesday night. Plus also there's some fantastic content on there that you can have a look at, some videos and clips from some of the brilliant stuff across the Talksport schedule, all available via the Talksport app. Grimes charging forward down the left-hand side. Mason Clark onto his right foot, edge of the penalty area, goes down, wants the free kick. Referee not interested, and Gakia with the challenge, did well. His pass out wasn't the best though. It finds the chest of De Silva. Now Thomas Asante caught late there by Pollock, and the free kick goes Coventry's way midway inside the Watford half.
Yeah, De Silva, they're just fantastic quality. Just reads the flight of the ball, gets his chest in to Wolfenden. And like you say, just keep him possessed. In fact, it was to Kitchen actually, but then the ball played forward with pace. Asante presenting every single opportunity. Good, strong challenge by Matty Pollock, letting him know that he's in the game just a little bit late.
Ellis Sims warming up. He started, of course, in the game against Portsmouth in midweek to give Haji Wright a bit of a break. Haji obviously back from international duty, scored a couple of goals for the USA while he was away, as that one bounces up in the air inside the penalty area and is volleyed clear by Pollock. He's got 3 and 3 as Haji Wright. That's probably why he's very keen to score. As a striker as well, we were talking downstairs earlier, this season he spent more time between the two edges of the box. I think Frank Lampard said to him, just don't go out wide, get in those middle areas, that's where I want you.
I bet he was absolutely delighted as well when he said. But when you've got the players like Sakamoto, Mason Clark, Van Ewijk, Jay De Silva, end product, isn't it? Where do you want to be? In between the goalposts. You know, and like you say, it's no surprise he's got the goals that he's got, and he could have had a couple more as well this afternoon.
I bet you'd have loved someone to tell you to stay.
Someone did tell me that, and I was happy. I never had to be told twice. Let me tell you that.
Sakamoto on this right hand side. Oh, he's teasing, he's toying with him now. Got the ball at his feet, gives it to Wolfenden. Wolfenden down the right hand side. Sakamoto again, edge of the penalty area, looking to cut across, left footed ball in, slight deflection. Selvik has to punch, which he does. Grimes just lets that flick off the head of Bart, and then he's picked up on that left hand side by De Silva. Back with Grimes again. They're teasing and probing here, Coventry City, edge of the penalty area against the 10 men of Watford, leading 3-0. Sakamoto again, scorer of the third on this near side on his left foot, gives it to Wolfenden. Wolfenden now charging forward down this near touchline again. Sakamoto, lovely little layup from Van Ewijk, still going through the legs, and then Jamie Allen, it just slipped away towards the edge of the penalty area. Grimes might fancy his shot. There's cries of shoot. He hasn't scored against since April when he scored against Hull. Matt Grimes, one of the few outfield players not to find the target yet this season for Coventry. Instead, though, he plays a ball into the box. Bowler heads it away towards the edge of the penalty area again. It's up in the air, and Wolfenden's going to get there first, which he does. Has to stretch a boot out and controls it quite nicely, actually. Kitchen finds Grimes wide on the left-hand side to Silva. Back to Grimes again. Grimes just looking to see who's making the run. Thomas Asante's gone to the edge of the box. Haji Wright comes short. Mason Clark charges into the area, but Grimes takes the option of going back, and the Olays have started for every single pass here for Coventry City as they just try and find a way through a very stoic Watford defence at the start of this second half. 13 minutes into the second half we are, and here's Wolfenden now down this right hand side. And as a man who is a trained coach, this is almost like training ground stuff, isn't it?
This is, like you say, it gives you an argument as a manager to set your team up like this from the start and say, let's not concede the first goal, let's make it very, very ugly. But then you get criticised because you've got to bring a certain brand of football and an expectation. Before the game, only 3 points outside the playoffs, so there's an expectation that Watford can kick on after what was a very good result at home at Vicarage Road. But let's say Coventry are seeing all the ball, but they're not really getting those opportunities because Watford are defending in compact. Haji Wright's coming way out. Get yourself in the middle. Another extra body in there. Allow the players that can create to create an opportunity for you.
Thomas Asante's deflected shot gives Coventry City a corner, and it's going to be Grimes on that far side who's going to take it. Wolfenden getting his first talking to. He's only been on the field for 7 or 8 minutes, and already the referee is just trying to pull him into line as this corner is prepared on that far side by Matt Grimes. It's taken a while over this Dean Whitestone. We will get the team news from Ian Danter, who's prepared for Millwall Leicester, which kicks off at 3 o'clock this afternoon. Hopefully we'll do it straight after this corner. Grimes is going to swing this one in with his left foot. Wolfenden's shirt is almost being pulled off there in the penalty area. It's swung over and it's headed out behind, and it will be another corner for Coventry City on that far side. I mean, it was a melee of bodies that went up for that. How the referee has made head nor tail of it, I don't know. But it will be another corner on that far side. And it's Grimes who'll deliver again. And again, Wolfenden is getting close attention from Pollock, it would seem, around that penalty spot. Liam Kitchen is now being held by Pollock. And also Kebben is closing in too. just to try and deny them any opportunity. It comes back to Jamie Allen, who gets it on the volley and knocks it over the bar. Right, let's get that team news then. Down at the New Den, Millwall-Leicester is our 3 o'clock commentary this afternoon with the details. Ian Danter.
Thanks, Adam. Just one change for Millwall, and it's expected. Will Smallbone went off with a hamstring injury in the impressive 2-0 win over Stoke in midweek. Luke Cundle came on for him that night, and he comes into the starting 11 in Alex Neil's only change. Marty Cifuentes has rung the changes after the disappointment at Hull in midweek. 4 in all for Leicester City this afternoon. Out go Chowdhury, Fass, Samare and Daka all to the bench. In come Ricardo Pereira, Okoli, Ramsey and Monga to the Leicester starting 11. At 2:30 here on Talksport 2, it's Millwall against Leicester.
Thanks, Ian. Barry Gross will be alongside Ian for that one. Of course, Baker Brothers in the chair as well. Millwall 3rd in the table, Leicester down in 11th. I think probably most people might have thought that had been the other way round when the season started. Just over or just under half an hour to go here at the CBS Arena. And the league leaders, Coventry City, ahead against Watford by 3-0. Watford down to 10 men as well. So it looks like a 12th unbeaten game for Coventry City, an 8th win of the season, unless something goes very wrong. Here's Mason Clark on the charge, right-footed ball towards the back post. It has to be dealt with, and it is dealt with by Bola, who puts it out for another corner on this right-hand side.
Yeah, but it's excellent quality. Jimmy Allen asking that question, getting himself into those areas, just a little bit overhit there from De Silva as well, but it's good quality. You know, controlling the game with the ball, really forcing Watford back. Watford just have to be a little bit braver in possession. If anything, not really had an opportunity to actually play out and get that defensive unit out. It's basically they're sat in very, very deep. I just think Selvic's had a few opportunities where he can come and claim, and he's punching it. Coventry's picking up all second balls and just keeping that pressure on.
Grimes for the corner down this right-hand side. Going to be swung with that left foot of his towards the back post, and going up for it was Wolfenden, and again his body's on the floor as the ball bobbles around. Sakamoto's going to try and get there first, but it will be brought clear by Dumbia on that right-hand side, and then it will be brought out, it looks, by Kebben. And now a break on with Barr, maybe. Barr down that right-hand side goes down. Wolfenden's going to be penalised. He can't believe it, and he's got himself a yellow card as well.
It's accidental, but it's a foul, isn't it? I've got to say, Barr just runs across the path. I think it's just a coming together. Looks like he's in a lot of pain here, but it was just basically a little clip of the heel, wasn't it, from Wolfenden?
Yes, Barr is certainly looking like he's making the most of that moment. The yellow card does go the way of Wolfenden. Barr rolling around on the far side. Like you say, it was the tiniest little clip as he was running back up. Figure on the other games that kicked off at 12:30 today, still goalless between Ipswich and West Bromwich Albion, still goalless between Portsmouth and Stoke, one of your former clubs as well. Bolton Cardiff is 0-0 in League One. Mansfield 1, Wigan 1, the other game in League One that kicked off early today. And the only goal in League Two, because it's goalless between Cheltenham and Walsall, is Fleetwood 0, Accrington Stanley 1. That's the early kickoffs across the EFL. Reminder, it's a late Premier League game for you today on Talksport. That's at 8 o'clock tonight. Brentford against Liverpool. That's right after the game day phone-in and right after Around the Grounds with Adrian Durham, which is already on air over on Talksport right now as they bring all the goals as they go in this afternoon across the Premier League, the EFL, the non-league, Scotland as well. You name it, we got it covered. And that full classified check, of course, at 5:15 this afternoon. Well, he's still down on the far side, receiving some treatment. A couple of changes coming, though. Maybe that's going to be one of them. We're going to see the introduction. Iran Kunda is coming on. And I think we will see Vivaldo Semedo returning from injury. So a couple of changes coming the way of Watford. So one of them is that they're actually going to take off Quadro Barr. He will depart on the far side. And the Australian Iran Kunda will come on. He's got a couple of goals to his name, the 19-year-old. The front line that started today really has been fairly toothless in terms of in front of goal. And the other change, Dumbia is off and Vivaldo Semedo is on. So double change for Watford then.
Yeah, and two players I do like. Iran Kunda usually has that kind of free role, can play up top, that in behind, but fantastic on the ball. very raw. You know, I think you don't know. He sometimes doesn't know what he's going to do himself, but then some magical quality. Rivaldo's just got a presence. You know, he'll go and attack. He anticipates things in the box. He does get on the end of things, and he's definitely an aerial threat.
Rivaldo Semedo immediately charges towards the edge of the penalty area because they've got this free kick on the far side. Have Watford midway inside the Coventry City half on the right. Thoughts of the former Stoke, Burnley, Watford striker, of course, Chris Awelamo, who's alongside me here at the CBS Arena, taking their time over this. There's a one-man wall. That's Thomas Asante. Right-footed, it's clipped in by Ngakia in the end. Comes out and is drilled left-footed hard and straight by Bowler. Took a couple of deflections and out of play on the far side. What will be a throw to Coventry City, level with the edge of their own penalty area. We've got 25 minutes remaining here at the CBS Arena. It's EFL Game Day Live on Talksport 2. And Coventry are 3 up.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad ball in. You've got to think, just be alive to the second phase. Watford there, Bowler comes onto it, struck it very well. But again, Coventry, I think, first contact, they go and win it, and then they see the danger, get the blocks in.
Ball out by Wolfenden as that was popped into the 6-yard area of Coventry City.
Well, straight away you see Aaron Kunda getting on the ball, driving at the heart of the defence, especially in the 18-yard box as well. He's got that low centre of gravity, manipulating the ball all the while.
They've got a throw on that far side. I think they're going to try and launch it long. There's 5 Watford shirts lurking in the penalty area. Loser's gone in to make it 6, and in fact I think Ngakia was going to go and try and make it a 7th as well. Here comes the throw from the far side. Gloves on as it's launched in by Vata, and it's picked up by Thomas Asante on that far side. Rocco Vata's going with him, but Thomas Asante will just clip it forward but straight into touch, and it'll be a throw for Watford around halfway. Not quite gloves weather today, is it? Rocco Vata's got them on, I notice. The only one I think out there who is wearing gloves today.
Wait a minute, you've came with a Parker jacket today. It's not quite glove weather.
That's a difference between... and I think Jamie Redknapp, if you keep calling his coat a Parker, might be quite upset.
Well, I'll have to drop him a little message, see if I can get one.
That one slipped through towards the edge of the penalty area. Rushworth comes out, gets the ball. They want the penalty. Oh, and he's given the penalty. The referee gives the spot kick. Well, Rushworth defending himself, but the referee not interested. He's given the penalty to Watford.
Very, very quickly as well, Whitestone. I think Rushworth saying to you, go ask your linesman, I got the ball. Surely they've got to have a conversation. Surely he does that before he points to the spot. Whitestone, he's now going out to the linesman.
Well, I was going to say, no, Whitestone's had a good game, I think, but Whitestone was kind of way back from play. The assistant is in the perfect position. Well, it's like the Watford player is going to need some treatment here. Well, Loser's got the ball in hand. The penalty will be taken in a moment. Oh, he's okay to continue with a hobble. No, there's no discussion with the assistant. So it will be a penalty to Watford. Well.
Well, like you say, Carlos has been absolutely outstanding. He's came. Rivaldo's just got to the ball first, taking it round him. We can't see. We don't have the luxury of the monitors. As I said, if there was any contact, I'm sure we'll get it back from Sam, back at base. We've just heard definite pen there, so there you go. The referee, Whitestone, no contact at all.
Here's Loser with the penalty. He scored 3 goals in his last 5 games. Scored against West Brom, of course, in midweek. Loser against Rushworth, left-footed from 12 yards, and he sends Rushworth the wrong way into the bottom corner, and Watford have a goal back. Well, just maybe miracles can happen. Coventry City 3, Watford 1, Loser with his 4th goal of the season from the spot.
Well, defensively, it's been a better performance, second half with 10 men. Now brought on those a few flair players that can ask a few questions, that can be direct, that can hold the ball and drive at defences. Coventry, for me, have had a lot of the ball without really creating anything, which you understand, because basically that Watford have been so compact in front of them, but they still got that ability to open them up. That'll give Watford a little impetus. Can they go and put Coventry under a little bit of pressure, ask a few more questions in that attacking third?
Well, you saw Rushworth, when Portsmouth scored in stoppage time, thumping the ground in fury on Tuesday night. He's not happy. I think he fancied another clean sheet today, that's for sure. It was Semedo, the player that went down injured. Here's Thomas Asante towards the edge of the box, just blocked off as he got there. Loser with a lovely little spin and keeps the ball nicely. Cipriano helped on its way this time. There is Semedo again. And Vivaldo Semedo just muscled out this time as the ball goes back to Rushworth away to our left-hand side. Just over 20 minutes left. 3-1. Coventry City lead. Here's Grimes. Short to Wolfenden. Wolfenden towards halfway. Watford supporters in good voice away to our right-hand side. Being sung back at by the Coventry City fans as Kitching now goes forward down that left-hand side. Got options outside of him, but again it's closed down by the number of Watford shirts who are just patrolling the edge of that penalty area.
It's a very selfless role. Vivaldo coming on, that distance between him and that midfield line and behind, he's got to try and entertain. Grimes is dropping deep as well, going in between the likes of Kitchen and Wolfenden. And he's got to do that all on his own. And then look, Loser can't even go and affect it because it's so far away. That information's got to come from behind. You're looking at the likes of Matty Pollock, Caban. Can they push that midfield on? So it helps Vivaldo. He can't do it all by himself.
He's got a real physical presence, hasn't he?
He has.
Vivaldo Masai. Not dissimilar to yours.
I'll take that. I'll take that.
Here's Jamie Allen on that far side. Short to, on that left, De Silva. Left-footed ball swung in by Kitchen this time, just over the head of Van Ivik, who'd got himself into the penalty area. We're going to see Ellis Sims coming on, and I think maybe Josh Eccles as well for Coventry City, just to add some fresh impetus and maybe ideas as Thomas Asante escapes the close attention of Rocco Vata, who put his hand up when he was about to foul him, I think. Here comes Grimes again over halfway. 3-1 against the 10 men of Watford, but maybe there's more to come in this game. Thomas Asante, 25 yards out from goal. Good challenge that time by Kebben. And now in goes Wolfenden. He's already on a yellow card. Needs to be careful as he charges in. And now a chance for Vivaldo. It's Semedo down this left-hand side. Semedo still going. Left-footed ball. Tried to play it across. And Kitching has to put it out. Dangerous position yet again that time for Vivaldo Semedo. And it's a corner.
Yeah, I think the ball could have went earlier there. Imran Loza just found himself in between Kitchen and Wolfenden there. I think the ball just has to play in between the last defender and goalkeeper, and Loza's going to get an opportunity to goal. Soon he took 2-3 touches there. Vivaldo Semedo, the opportunity was gone, but good little break as well. It just shows you.
Loza gets it in towards the near post. Coming in for it that time was Pollock, who couldn't quite get there. It's cleared away only as far as Ngakia, who's just inside the Coventry City half. Jamie Allen chasing him all the way, and Ngakia does enough just to stride clear. Right hand side, ball clipped towards the left edge of the Coventry penalty area towards Pollock, who gets a head on it but just knocks it out of play, and it'll be a throw in on this near side.
Yeah, I think that was the right ball as well. I think Matty Pollock was just a little bit inside. Can he be a little bit more expansive so he can see everything, go and attack it or drop off if he has to?
Ellis Sims is coming on to replace Efren Mason-Clark in the first of the changes, and we're also going to see the introduction of Josh Eccles as well, and Eccles will come on to replace Haji Wright. So you'd see Thomas Asante maybe go out to that wide position on the left hand side. Eccles probably the advanced of the three midfielders, and then Sims going up top in those two changes for Coventry City. 3-1 they lead. Game day live on Talksport 2. Reminder, we're off to Millwall Leicester when we're done, 3rd against 11th. Can Millwall continue that terrific form? Coventry about to go potentially 8 points clear of Millwall, who are in 3rd place in that table. It could be 4 clear of Middlesbrough, who played this afternoon as well against Wrexham. 7 points, it'll be potentially 10 points clear of 7th place, of course, so the gap between themselves and the last team in the playoffs just beginning to open up. Still early days though. Just over a quarter of the way through after today's game. Bowler down this left-hand side for Watford, midway inside the Coventry City half. Forward to the feet, just Cannon's back off the feet that time of Irankunda. And now the play again on this near side. It'll be another throw for Watford. Loser takes it quickly. Irankunda's there again. Grimes wins it. Up to Sims. Sims nice layoff to Kitching. Kitching out to De Silva. 10 yards inside their own half. But it's opening up going forward for Thomas Asante. Down that left-hand side. Oh, he's taken on Ngakia. And he's got the better of him towards the edge of the penalty area. But then comes back inside where he finds Josh Eccles. who's just come on. Dropped short to Grimes again. Out wide on the far side is De Silva. Thomas Asante's found a position at the edge of the penalty area. Eccles has gone down that far touchline, but Kitchen will have it back just outside the edge of the centre circle. Just over 15 minutes to go. 3-1. Coventry lead against the 10 men of Watford. Grimes, left-hand side. Not enough movement in front of them for me, for Coventry City, as they try and probe their way through.
Yeah, it's very difficult. Look how compact Watford are. You know, even in the wide areas, everyone's taking responsibility there. But it's where they need to be braver when they regain possession in that transition. What have they got? What options have they got? Obviously, Vivaldo Semedo's got to go from defensive to attacking very, very quickly. But look at the distance that he's got to do. Very, very selfless job. But this is where I need a little bit more creative quality. Van Ewijk has tried to kind of go and influence it by going up as a striker and running in behind, asking that question, just trying to shuffle things about to create that space for Sakamoto to drop deeper and get the ball. But they need to move it a little bit more, a little bit quicker than they are doing.
He's learning a lot every time, Frank Lampard, about his side. Different challenge today against 10 men, as we said, than what they faced against Birmingham City, because Watford being far more aggressive. That challenge comes in from Van Ewijk, and he may be getting a card for that.
He should be getting a yellow card for that, but I don't think he is.
Oh, he is.
Is he? Yeah, and it's a silly, silly challenge. You know, he's actually just running out of the attacking third there. Vata, there's no reason to go down. He's still got 6 Coventry shots to try and get by there. It's a silly foul to give away.
Free kick for Watford midway inside their own half. There's a little panic setting into this Coventry side, but there feels a bit of anxiety around the arena, that's for sure. Portsmouth 0, Stoke 1. Stoke have got themselves in front in the game at Fratton Park. Still goalless between Ipswich and West Bromwich Albion. West Bromwich Albion coming up against basically almost their entire back line today that now plays for Ipswich. Would have been there earlier in the season. Fleetwood lead Accrington 2-1 in the game in League 2. Turnaround by Fleetwood Town there in the only goals that have gone in elsewhere, really. And a reminder in League 1 as well. What we do know is it's 1-1 between Mansfield and Wigan. So not too many goals in the lunchtime kickoffs today. We've had them all here, and there could be another coming here for Watford as the ball goes across the 6-yard area. Iran Kunda got it across, and it was Vivaldo Semedo who just couldn't get there. He tried to keep it alive and set it up for Cipriano, but in the end the ball goes out of play on the far side. There's actually a foul over there on Thomas Asante, and that'll be a free kick to Coventry.
Well, I tell you what, you don't see Van Ewijk losing too many races there, but Iran Kunda into a flash, and this is where I need more from Vivaldo Semedo. They'll just break your neck to get into that central area, because it's an excellent ball across the face of goal there. All it needed was just that contact. All the pace was on the cross itself.
Only won 5 of their last 17 league games of Watford, so you can see why the change was made. But I don't know, you saw them midweek as well. There's enough there for Javi Gracia to be working with, isn't there?
Yeah, but
certainly offensively.
Yeah, definitely. Of course there is, but I just think too many changes in the likes of Cipriano, who I thought had a real good balance with Loser as well. He'll sit and protect more often than not.
Cipriano scored a goal, of course, in the Football League Trophy final when Peterborough won that last season, beating Birmingham City surprisingly in that final. That's just me trying to make up to Adrian Durham for mentioning the playoff a few seasons ago.
Yeah, but even Iran Kunda, he's so lively. You know, this is a player that just with a little bit of quality that can get in behind, and maybe the same situations that fell to Rocco Vata. He's very different, a very different outcome.
De Silva on the far side for Coventry. 12 minutes to go. 3-1 they lead. Talksport 2. Your home of the EFL. Over halfway, here comes Grimes. Into the feet this time of Jamie Allen. Scored back in the 8th minute, 7th minute, I think it was. Jamie Allen from the edge of the penalty area. Second start of the season today. De Silva then just gets it short to Thomas Asante, and again they can't find their way through this rugged Watford defence. Grimes, they've made life very difficult for Coventry in this second half.
Yeah, well, this is Javi Gracia. When you speak, you know, I've been in this situation as a player where you're 3-0 down, you're down to 10 men. Go win the second half. Go, let's not concede. You know, and they've done exactly that at the minute. They've been very, very hard to play through. They've been a threat when they've had certain moments. I still think they can create more in that transition.
Thomas Asante on that far side, left-footed ball across low. Sims comes towards the near post to try and get on the end of it, but it's very well dealt with that time by Kebben, and it's out on that far side for what will be another throw. I think we're going to get another change for Coventry City coming imminently with just over 10 minutes remaining. Throw in on that far side. De Silva has it, and we are going to see the change, and it's Kane Kessler-Hayden that will come on. Maybe they'll double up potentially. They've done that in the past, have both him and Van Ivik
He's on a yellow card as well, so maybe that might play a part.
Here's Eccles, short again to Kitchen. Eccles then doing the job of Grimes for a change there, dropping in between the two centre halves, and now Jamie Allen having a go. Grimes is up over halfway on that far side, and Allen will come forward again. So the other start this season was against Sheffield Wednesday. That was a resounding victory by 5-0, of course, in that little run of 4-0, 5-0 and 6-0 wins. Here it's picked up and 5-0 wins, should I say. They never quite got the 6. They were looking for the 6. As Allen just tries to win it back again, and it's working so hard just to try and probe through this Watford back line.
I think Wolfenden has to take the shot on there. You know what I mean? He's driving, he's 25 yards on a slight angle, but it's just opened up, and he's just tried to thread the pass through to Ellis Sims. No room for error there.
I always feel it's difficult in those scenarios where you're then relying on the likes of Wolfenden and Kitchen to try and find those slide rule passes, just because they're seeing so much of the ball at the edge of the area.
Well, this is why Grimes just drops into the middle of them. He sees it, so this is where they. But I think it's fair point. Look how Kitchen and Wolfenden are setting up, so they're beside each other all the time, and then Grimes is trying to pick areas around that, so they have that understanding between them.
I mean, if Watford had defended a little bit like this in the first half, we may have a different game on our hands, but the goals were very easy to come by.
But isn't he going to be criticised if you just go...
Oh, Thomas Asante down that left-hand side, wins his side. A corner? No, it's a goal kick.
But isn't the manager, Javi Gracia, going to be criticised if he says, you know what, let's just park the bus, we're going to have moments, let's just stop them from... I don't mind that. If it gets a result, here it's a result business, and that's what it's all about. But he will get criticised for that.
It is Van Ivik coming off for Kessler-Hayden, who's coming on. Ipswich lead against West Bromwich Albion by 1-0, and it is Kessler-Hayden comes on. Jack Clark, the goal scorer for Ipswich. So Ipswich and Stoke both with late goals in those games. That kicked off at 12:30 today. 3-1 here at the CBS Arena, building up to Millwall Leicester from 2:30 today. We've got 8 more minutes plus added time. And I think Coventry will be happy. They've just kind of almost stemmed the tide for a moment of Watford attacks with a bit of play in and around the edge of that penalty area. It's going to be a throw to Watford just short of halfway. And we said at half-time we wondered if Watford could stop this turning into a real rout, and they've done that very well.
No, they have. You know, I think very, very organised. I think Matty Pollock's a funny decision for me not to play, because he does organise, he communicates, he can go and be aggressive, win those aerial duels. He can come out with the ball, and he wasn't bad the other night at all against West Brom.
Well, I think he'll be playing against Middlesbrough when they play them at home next weekend, as a bank was not going to be available. I mean, that's a tough one for Middlesbrough, bearing in mind how Watford have been good at home, haven't they? So, still plenty of twists and turns to come between now and May, that's for sure, in terms of where everyone's going to finish in this championship table. But at this moment in time, it's Coventry who sit atop the lot, and they're desperate to stay there. And Frank Lampard really showing how he's maturing. I mean, we know he did a great job at Derby as well. Couldn't quite get them promoted in the end. Not so well in his couple of spells with Chelsea. But again, as a manager, I'm guessing you just learn, don't you? You learn every single time. And, well, he looks like he's learned a lot through those periods.
No, definitely. You know, I think it's one of those, you know, what the game, the scenario, any game throws at you, how they manage it. It's so important.
His bowler down this left-hand side for Watford. Lucer's got some space here, about 30 yards out from goal. Lucer's got support too, and Gak here. Get it out on that right-hand side. Here's Vata. Vata with a cross towards the back post. Arriving to divert it goalwards in the end was Iran Kunda and Rushworth. A quite comfortable stop in the end. But again, hearts in mouths for those Coventry supporters around us.
Yeah, good ball in from Rocco Vata. I think Iran Kunda, he's always on the move. I think he read the flight of the ball very, very well. Just couldn't get the connection. Actually goes with the right, outside of the right boot for the shot rather than just coming on and opening the left foot, making sure he works Rushworth.
Well, I think there's a bit of frustration being directed there at Brandon Thomas Asante on the far side. A feeling that once he got the better of Ngakia, which I think he probably had, rather than drive forward, he went back inside. And it was a moment, I think, for the Coventry fans where they just wanted to see that bit of intent rather than just keeping the ball. We've got 2 Watford players are down. Josh Eccles is going to get a yellow card. I think the referee played advantage for a moment. Kiprianu is one of the players down, and in the end he pulls it back, gives the yellow card and the free kick.
Yeah, and I think rightfully so. I think they were both at it there. I think it was Josh Eccles and Kiprianu it was. He just left it on him there, but Kiprianu got there earlier, and it was just a poor, timely challenge. Whitestone tried to play advantage, but like you say, nothing came of it.
Vatter's off, Tom Ince is on. Not started a game yet so far this season, Tom Ince. His 4th substitute appearances. I was looking back, 482nd league appearance today. 99 goals to his name in that time, as Loser puts a long ball forward that's easily dealt with this time. Probably had his best time at Blackpool and Derby, didn't he? That one was certainly at his most prolific, but he's been not really had too many opportunities. Only 1 championship goal all of last season. That's a ball across the edge of the 6-yard area again from Iran Kunda. Sloppy defending, chance to get the shot away, which Rushworth saves. It was Vivaldo Semedo turning inside the penalty area. It was comfortable in the end for Rushworth, but Watford with 10 men are just having more opportunities than they managed with 11.
Well, just look at Erin Kunda there. Kesler Hayden, he can move as well. Nowhere near Erin Kunda there. Wolfenden should have been there as well. What a ball. But this is about knowing the players, knowing the quality that they have. If you know the man has that quality to get there and get the ball across, you've got to break your neck. Big Vivaldo Semedo has to just be there, 3 yards from goal.
Well, it makes you wonder about the choices that Javi Gracia made today. As you said, both of those players, well, obviously Vivaldo Semedo is coming back from injury, but Iran Kunda played midweek, but was left out of the starting lineup today.
He also took him off at half time because he just had little flashes of quality, but not consistently enough.
Just over 3 minutes to go. Talksport 2, your home of the EFL. Coventry City 3, Watford 1. Ahead of Millwall against Leicester this afternoon. And of course, Ian and Perry will keep you up to date with all the goals as they go in throughout the afternoon during our live EFL commentary. Around the Grounds is live over on Talksport with Adrian Durham, heading around those Premier League games and the big games in the EFL too. The game day phone in from 5:30. Then tonight we've got Brentford against Liverpool is our live and exclusive Premier League commentary. Can Liverpool stop the Premier League rot? Of course, defeat to Manchester United last week. They've also lost to Chelsea. They lost to Crystal Palace as well. Good win in midweek on Talksport in the Champions League. However, can they get back on it in the Premier League against Brentford tonight? You'll find out from 8 o'clock. And then, of course, after that, we've got the Parker Wardley boxing for you from the O2 Arena. The warm-up for that will be on Talksport 2, the undercard, and then the big fight live on Talksport after 10 o'clock tonight. Here's Ince down this left-hand side. Into the final 3 minutes here. Again, Iran Kunda on the charge. Thomas Asante will pick it up now. He's going to play an early ball to Ellis Thomas. Well, Ellis Thomas is on halfway, and he's put that to within 10 yards of the edge of the penalty area.
Look at this now, Coventry not even stepping up. You've got Matt Grimes, Jimmy Allen, Thomas Asante there, now just sitting in front of the back 4, allowing Watford to actually get up into these progressive areas. Dangerous.
Loser out wide to Bowler. Just turns inside Jamie Allen. Ince, edge of the penalty area, 25 yards out. Ince with the ball at feet. And Ngakia wide on that right hand side, and Ngakia goes towards the byline, cuts it across towards Loser, half cleared, and then Grimes will try and get it out, and Ngakia is there again, and it's Kiprianu into Ince, 25 yards out from goal. Ince wants some help. He gives it to Iran Kunda on this near side, who clips the ball in towards Loser, and it has to be dealt with that time by Kitchen, who'd followed him in, and then Eccles will get it away up towards halfway. Am I missing something? Who's winning 3-1 here? This is desperate stuff from Coventry.
Well, I guess the 3-1 up, the point should be secured at the minute, but Watford have grew into this match. Players that, even with a man down, players are getting the ball in the attacking area or even the middle third and driving it, players taking 2-3 on, having a bit of success from it, really putting Coventry on the back foot. Some of the balls coming into the box have been outstanding.
But how are 10 men finding this much space? That shouldn't be happening, should it? Here's Pollock on halfway for Watford, who've done really well in the second half.
He's not happy, Frank Lampard, shaking the head, and rightfully so.
Oh, that's a lovely long ball over the top. And Gaki's first touch has let him down, though, and De Silva has time to get it away. Only as far as Ince, who turns under pressure from Thomas Asante. And it goes back as far as Kebben on halfway. Ince on that far side. Watford supporters making some noise. Away to our right-hand side, and the drummers have begun for the Sky Blues as well. Last few seconds of the 90. On Talksport 2, 3-1 they lead against the 10 men of Watford, although you question who's got 10 men out here right now. That's a poor ball, that, from Cipriano over the top of Bola, and we're into 6 additional minutes at the CBS Arena.
Right, well, I still expect Bola to jump at least. It's unbelievable. Not the best of balls, but I think Bola can actually try and keep it in, and probably could have kept it in if he actually just jumped. But at the minute, look at this, just winning it. Winning second balls. He's done well there.
He has Kessler Hayden, and Sims wants it if he gives it to him. Is he going on his own? Kessler Hayden's still going, brought down at the edge of the box. Oh, and the referee says that loser got the ball, and therefore there's no free kick. To the rage of Frank Lampard, who's in the ear of the fourth official, Ed Duckworth, right now. That's a long distance effort from Tom Ince on halfway. Well, Frank Lampard is going at Ed Duckworth a bit like Vera Duckworth used to go at Jack, to be fair.
Well, in fairness to the official, Dean Whitestone, he was right up with it as well. He did see it from the back end of the challenge itself. But if there's contact to the ball, then I think it's the right decision there. But better from Kessler. Hayden driving forward.
Bola under pressure from Sakamoto. Bola still going down this left-hand side, tries to go beyond Kessler Hayden. Sakamoto will nip in and pick up the loose ball. Wolfenden gets it back to Rushworth, who side foots it up towards Ellis on halfway, but it's over his head, and Pollock wins it. Wolfenden then will just win the header deep inside his own half. Sakamoto on this near side is caught late that time by Iran Kunda, and that should be a yellow card because that was left on him. But Dean Whitestone, yes, he is going to get it out of his pocket.
Well, he took his time with that one. Dean Whitestone, definite yellow card. Late, no intent. Sakamoto just took a sore one there from Irinkunda.
2 minutes of the 6 have been played at the end of this game at the CBS Arena. A goal for Bolton in stoppage time. They've head against Cardiff by a goal to nil down in League One. No other goals to bring you. Reminder, Ipswich leading West Brom, Stoke leading Portsmouth. The other games that kicked off at 12:30 today. And Sakamoto is up and about without needing treatment. So twice before, Coventry have won 6 successive league games. Back in August 1954, September 1964, but they've never won 6 in a row in the same season. This could be the first time today. They were about 3.5 minutes stoppage time away from doing that and extending our lead at the top of the championship. Sims is there. He's being manhandled by Pollock. Somehow he managed to control it on the knee and then on his back, and Pollock has put it into touch. It is out now, and it will be a throw to Coventry down this right-hand side.
Yeah, I think he's been starved of any service, hasn't he? Ellis Simpson's coming on. Now Coventry were completely in control of the ball. Without that, those crosses coming in, so he gives you that outlet, that presence in the 18-yard box, and then all of a sudden they've had to kind of weather the storm the last probably 10-12 minutes.
Kessler Hayden with a throw, headed out as far as Grimes at the edge of the penalty area. Pumped long into Coventry territory. Kitching is chasing back. He's got 2 closing him down. It's the pace of Vivaldo Semedo and Iran Kunda, but Kitching was calm, as was Rushworth, and Wolfenden will go long early towards the head of Pollock, who clears Cipriano and just knocks it back to Pollock, who's under pressure from Eccles, and it goes out of play. What will be a goal kick to Watford away to our right-hand side. And Selvik will come over to collect. There's a bit of afters there between Eccles and Pollock that Dean Whitestone feels he needs to intervene in.
Eccles just has to be careful. I think he's already on a yellow card.
He does.
What about afters, isn't it?
Selvik with a goal kick. 4 minutes of the 6 have been played. 3-1 Coventry lead against the 10 of Watford. Gracia still at the edge of his technical area, instructing his players. Lots of shaking of head from him today. Thomas Asante's tried to get the better of that, and Gaki is there but just hacks it up into the air. Sakamoto on this near side under all sorts of pressure that time from Bola. Irankunda picked up by Sakamoto, and then Grimes back to Rushworth, much to the delight of the home supporters who get their applause on. Eccles wins that first header, loser in the centre circle, will just flick it on. Forward comes Wolfenden. Sims knocked down to Jamie Allen, who just tries to poke it through. It comes to Sims. Sims now turning nicely. Thomas Asante's there. Then Allen. It's well worked out to the left-hand side for Coventry City. And here comes De Silva down the left, towards the edge of the penalty area. Goes back short to Grimes. De Silva's still there. Room for Grimes to maybe take it on his own, and then he finds Jamie Allen. De Silva again on the left-hand side. They're reluctant to put a ball into the box, despite the fact that Ellis Silms and Josh Eccles are both in there. Welcome, listeners, to Talksport. We're in the final minute of added time here at the CBS Arena. Coventry City leading Watford by 3-1. Watford down to 10 men just before half-time. The red card for James Abankwah. At that point, Coventry City were already 3 goals to the good and have been in control of this game. But the second half, Watford have put up a terrific effort, scoring a penalty after a foul by Carl Rushworth. And actually, they've had several other opportunities, Chris Owen. It's not been straightforward for Coventry in this second half.
No, it hasn't. I think they've definitely a better defensive performance anyway, but looked more threatening second half. Had to weather the storm probably the first 10-15 minutes of it.
And Rushworth comes and gathers that, and there's the final whistle from referee Dean Whitestone, and Coventry City continue their unbeaten run, an 8th win of the campaign. That's 12 unbeaten in total, and they extend their lead for now at the top of the championship as they go 4 points clear of Middlesbrough, and for the first time in their history they've won 6 consecutive games in the same season. It's some run from Frank Lampard's side. They'll be grateful that they got in front in this game, because Watford were excellent in the second half, but it's Coventry City who stay and sit top of the table in the championship right now after 12 games. Another victory for them as they've beaten Watford here at the CBS Arena. Full time, Coventry City 3, Watford 1.
Thank you very much, Adam Bridge. I mean, all the damage was done in the first half, wasn't it, Chris Uwelemo? But Watford did start the fight back a little bit, but this was another comfortable and convincing performance from Coventry City.
Yeah, I think it was. I think Frank Lampard will be very disappointed. I think there'll be a few harsh words said, because, and rightfully so, I think with the extra man, with the amount of football that they had, they never really created too many opportunities second half with the creative players that they had out there as well. So yeah, I guess that's one way of keeping the players' feet in the ground, because there's expectation, the demands that he puts on his players as well. But yeah, Watford, I think even having Gracia, there's positives to take out of that game, even though it was a comfortable win for Coventry 3-1. Second half, they were out, they won the second half, and then like you say, they was defensively much better, taking responsibility, going with winning first contacts, second phase, being alive to that. But then in that transition, they actually grew into the game towards that, and actually looked more threatening in the second half. So, like you say, I think obviously a great result from Coventry. They're kicking on. They are the real deal. It's the championship. It is relentless, and Frank Lampard is you'll be absolutely delighted with it, albeit a few hard words definitely being said.
Yeah, well, a slight bit of complacency likely to set in, isn't it, when you're 3 goals to the good and your opposition are down to 10. But if you want to go on and win the championship and make life a little bit easier for you, you really wanting to be putting your foot down on the accelerator 100%. In that second half and showing what the side is capable of. But as you say, from a Watford point of view, positive signs, because they had come back into it in the first half, and then obviously, conceding the 3rd goal, then losing a man. You'd think that they'd have heads dropped, but Javi Gracia has probably got into that dressing room and said, come on, let's not embarrass ourselves any further. Let's show everybody what you have got, and they have got something.
Yeah, I think the leaders in the dressing room would have said the exact same thing as well, Faye. But then I just feel too many changes You know, you look at Aaron Kunda came on, he was unplayable. You know, he had the better of any opposition that he was up against him. He had end product as well. And like you say, I think Capriano as well just allowed Loser to go and influence the game a little bit more, because he'll sit and protect more often than not. I think you don't tinker too much with a winning side. Maybe the odds individual here and there, but not 4 or 5.
Talk me through what's going on at the CBS Arena at the minute. I've been watching Frank Lampard and all the players. Jamie Allen obviously taking his flowers for scoring his first goal since May 2024. But they're all having a ball in front of the fans at the minute.
Yeah, you know what? Good times are back, isn't it? You know, we're having a little lap of honour, giving the fans the respect that they deserve as well. You know, but the fans will know, you know, I think they even started getting a little bit frustrated second half, because so much of the ball without really kind of giving them anything kind of shout about, you know, so that's where the players have got to learn. But again, it's another fantastic result. Home form's been absolutely outstanding. You know, still unbeaten as well. Equalled the club record. Was it 1964? I think it is. It goes back to. It's outstanding. Fantastic.
Yep, they've been a real joy to watch. Coventry fans hoping that good feeling continues throughout the rest of the season. Right, safe journey to you both, Chris and Adam. Thank you very much for today.